Chelsea again. Mount across the face of the box, and it's put in by Ben Chilwell.
He's an OG, I think.
Or maybe a defender. Chilwell is being applauded. It's Fernandes, I think he's got the final touch to take it over the line, and that's a legitimate but very scruffy goal which puts Chelsea 1-0 up in the 11th minute. Timo Werner driving forward between two Newcastle defenders. It's a great run by Timo Werner, who sets up Abraham, who scores a lovely goal for Chelsea. That is exactly what they needed. It was brilliantly set up by Timo Werner, who drove forward, waited and waited, saw Abraham, delivered the pass, and Tammy Abraham, for the third game running, netted for Chelsea. An excellent finish, and one which in all probability will give Chelsea the points and take them to the top of the table. Newcastle 0, Chelsea 2.
Now here is Welbeck. Now he's away. He's one-on-one with the goalkeeper. It's Danny Welbeck with a chance to give Brighton and Hove Albion the lead, and he does exactly that. That's what Danny Welbeck can do. His first goal for the Seagulls, and against the run of play, Brighton take the lead. Aston Villa 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 1. Traore's delivery, it's a good delivery, and there was Konsa to make it 1-1. Endry Konsa sweeps the ball home, and 1 minute 7 seconds into the second half, Aston Villa are back level. Endry Konsa up from the back, and he made no mistake, guiding the ball beyond the reach of Matthew Ryan. And it's the perfect start to the second half for Aston Villa. Might come here for Solly March. Oh, splendid goal. Solly March pulled the trigger with the right foot, and it lands in the top corner, and Brighton and Hove Albion are back in the lead. And take your hats off to Solly March. Brilliant finish. Aston Villa 1, Brighton 2.
There's a chance here for Heung-min Son early doors, and Heung-min Son has scored. Well, Heung-min Son suddenly found himself through on goal from nowhere, and Heung-min Son, the Premier League's top scorer, strikes again through the legs of the City goalkeeper, and Tottenham lead by a goal to nil. Spurs are coming forward here. Lo Celso has just come on, he's through on the goalkeeper, and Giovanni Lo Celso has scored moments after replacing Ndombele is played in by Harry Kane, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and dead-eyed he's beaten him. Tottenham Hotspur doing the Mourinho smash and grab. It's 2-0.
Well, welcome back here, and I can tell you we're looking down at one of our monitors here at an interview with Pep Guardiola. I'm joined alongside me by Paul Parker. Paul, he looks a bemused young fellow, does Pep Guardiola. What's going wrong at Manchester City?
Well, I'm not a manager or anything to know, but you have to state the obvious and say is that they're doing what they used to find quite easy, and that was they're not doing, I should say, scoring goals. They're having a lot of possession, all that work they're putting into to get themselves in the right areas, but they're not just scoring enough goals, and they seem to be making those errors, those defensive errors that are costing them, and somewhere along the line it'll work out for them, but at this important stage for them to get themselves back into the race, as it seems to the Premier League, they don't seem to be getting any closer at this moment in time.
Well, they seemed invincible, but 2 seasons ago everything seemed so perfect for them. It just seems like the wheels have fallen off the Pep Guardiola coach, hasn't it?
Yeah, they just haven't adjusted well as a team, as a unit, to the situation we're in. That's the only way I can really look at it. When you look at the personnel, when you look at the way they're still dominating games, the fact of they're dominating games and there's winning games, and they're just not doing that. Even when they have won games, they've had to really work hard, when before they was always in the comfort zone. I don't think they've been in the comfort zone at all this season. It's been a battle, and then when you've got the likes of Sterling on the bench, and you've got Aguero, who maybe must be still not right at this moment in time, and Phil Foden still can't get a start now, you think to yourself, what is happening there at the moment? But I think the sunny side is that as a City fan, I'm sure they're saying, well, Pep's just signed a new contract, but you still think to yourself, what's going to happen next now he's signed that contract? For what reason has he signed that contract? Does that mean there's more spending to be done?
I think there could be. Let's drop down into the middle of the afternoon, and a manager that's making his name in the Premier League, Graham Potter, gets a fine victory, and Danny Welbeck back on the score sheet for Brighton. Good things.
Yeah, for Danny it is to come back, and I think everyone was thinking, he's gone from Watford and Brighton. That's a gamble on Brighton's part, but he's gone and got them in a good position. They've gone on and won the game. His side, he's still, the football they're playing now is 100% different to what it was before. and they've been caught out by it. They're another side who have had a lot of possession, just haven't created enough with all that possession, and they've lost games so late on just because they just couldn't kill games off. They couldn't really get started to kill games off, but they've gone and done that and won a game a lot of people didn't expect them to win, considering the fact of Villa's form of late.
There we are, and going to the first game, Tottenham top the table now, but early doors, Chelsea went on top of the table with a 2-0 win up at Newcastle United. Chelsea, little dark horses really when it comes to the promotion, not promotion, the winning the Premier League title.
Yeah, it's still open at the moment. I mean, I still think you have to, everyone about at the moment. I mean, Chelsea are getting better and better. Frank now seems to be getting it all together when, like everyone else, I was thinking, well, this ain't going to go right for him. He's going to spend all that money. It's just not going to click for him, but it's just starting to, and it's about getting wins. The more wins they can get, it makes a difference to the team confidence, and then the belief comes into it, and that's when players will be doing what they were bought for. And again, just to the fact of players are still getting used to, some have got used to it, a lot of them haven't, of the situation they're in of playing in empty stadiums. It's just a battle. They've gone from training grounds, training games they play, and then you go into the stadium where it's meant to be the main course, and it's still empty. So for players to deliver, it's tough for them, and it's getting harder and harder for them for every game they play in this situation. I think people have to relate to it, and not come out and say, oh, they're professional, they should do this. Yes, they're professional, but it's a difficult job to keep doing that week in, week out after years and years of fans behind them and all the adulation that goes with it.
Well, there you are, the thoughts of Paul Parker. Let's hear the thoughts of the two managers today, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Slaven Bilic.
I expect a difficult game, of course. We know they've got individual players. There's a good setup there. Slaven is a good coach. I've known him for many, many years. Ever since I played against him, it was chirping in my ear when he was marking me. He would try to get me out of focus. So I expect a team that want to come and give us problems, of course. I have to focus on us, and we have to focus on the performance against Everton. That was a good one. We want to see more of that. We want to see more of what we have been good at earlier in the season, or towards the end of last season as well. So we want to dominate, but we also want to be good defending.
They didn't start the season in the way they wanted to, especially at home, but then at home also they had some really top performances, like against Leipzig. 5-0 game, and they are Man United. They are a big club. They are great squad with some great individuals. They are looking to make their first win at home. Every game is difficult, especially for us as newcomers. But especially if it's Man United away, I mean, it's still Man United away, and if you see their roster, it's messy. But also it's a big opportunity for us, like every other game.
We've had 4 home games in the league, yes. The first one I think everyone knows, and we certainly look at it as we didn't have any preparation, and Palace deserved it. Tottenham deserved a win after sending off that Anthony shouldn't have. The 2 games against Chelsea and Arsenal, very close games, where I'm 100% sure if we'd had our fans, that would have helped us and maybe sparked that little X factor that we needed.
It would benefit every club in a sense of welfare of the players, because the players, the schedule now, especially for the clubs who are playing in like Europe, it's very hard and difficult, and then you have international games who are now against some guys played 3 games in a space of 2 weeks, and so it would help the health of the players. For me, the Premier League has to decide about it. I'm also the one who thinks that the welfare of the players is the most important thing.
Well, they are. You heard from the two managers ahead of this game, but there is plenty of football. 90 minutes of regulation minutes here between Manchester United and West Brom to come tomorrow. It kicks off with Fulham versus Everton, and that's the early kick-off, followed by Sheffield United versus West Ham United, and then a game. If you're old enough like me, you remember the 70s, Leeds United Arsenal was a real mouth-watering game. It still is this year, and it's back out there tomorrow for the mid-afternoon game, finally topped off tomorrow night with Liverpool versus Leicester City. It doesn't finish there, because Monday we have Burnley Crystal Palace and Wolves versus Southampton. Paul Parker, Leeds United Arsenal sounds like an absolute belter, doesn't it?
Well, it does in certain ways. It all depends, really. Most of it is all about what Arsenal turns up. We just don't know what we're getting with Arsenal, really. 1 minute everyone's talking about Arteta being like another Wenger, and all of a sudden he ends up being talked about like an Emery. In a way, because he seems to be let down by the players. He can't get the attacking side of it right. He's worked hard on the defensive side and improved that. It's just that attacking side now, which just doesn't seem to be gelling on a consistent basis. While Leeds, still an attractive side to watch, they're passing their idea of what they want to do, and it doesn't change regardless of what situation is. Their football doesn't change. They believe in what they're doing. They believe in what their coach tells them, the players. They're all brave on the ball. I just think they need another goal scorer in the side. I really do. After seeing Bamford and the way how hard he works, he needs someone who can work with him, and then as well Leeds need another player in their team who they can believe is going to score, get into double figures at least. They just don't seem to have enough goal scorers on the pitch.
Now, you played under Sir Alex Ferguson, Malcolm McDonald, you played under the great Jimmy Smith. Marcelo Bielsa, his coaching manual seems to be a little bit lively with the Spygate scandal and everything else, but is he a man you would love to have played for?
I think you have to say yes, and just by how everybody talks about him, and then when you listen to him talk through the interpreter, you believe in what the interpreter's saying, when normally you switch off when someone else is doing that. You actually listen because you think to yourself, oh, a minute, can he really understand English, and can he speak English? Is he just getting someone just to do that because he doesn't want to get too involved and seem too vulnerable to people to get at and ask things all the time? But whatever he does, if he's not speaking to those players directly and through an interpreter, he is getting everything across really, really well.
The last time I know about that, Bobby Robson, Jose Mourinho at Barcelona. But that's enough of that. Interesting thoughts there from Paul Parker. Next up, live commentary from Manchester United versus West Bromwich Albion. You're listening to Premier League Live.
Demanding a high performance from your team? You should be demanding the same from your tyres. The Irish Tyre Industry Association is urging motorists to stay safe this winter and check the condition of your tyres. You could even be liable for a fine and 2 penalty points if found driving with tyres below the legal tread depth limit of 1.6 millimetres. ITIA expert technicians will carry out a free tyre safety check to ensure your tyres are safe and legal. Visit itia.ie to find your local expert.
As Ireland's homegrown insurer, FPD knows it's empowering when someone has your back. So switch your van insurance to us and get up to 75% no-claim discount. Visit fbd.ie to request a quote. FBD Insurance. Support. It's what we do. Terms, conditions and underwriting criteria apply. 75% no-claims discount is based on proof of 5 years no-claims discount and available to new commercial motor customers only. FBD Insurance Group Limited, trading as FBD Insurance, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland. Commercial motor insurance is underwritten by FBD Insurance PLC.
Upgrade your home viewing experience at Curry's PC World. See every tackle, shot and goal in crystal clear definition with our huge range of the latest to market large screen TVs with massive savings. Like save up to €130 on Samsung 4K TVs from only $459. And get your TV for half price. 1 in 20 win half their money back. Buy any LG OLED TV to enter with prices from just $1,249. Shop the full range online at currys.ie.
Get ready and hold on tight because the Premier League is here! Which teams will stay on track and who'll go off the rail? Get the Irish Sun for top transfer news, exclusive star interviews and opinions from the biggest names in football. Plus expert analysis of every action-packed match in our fantastic goals pull-out each weekend. Stay up to speed because you never know what the Premier League is going to throw up. Pick up the Irish Sun today.
Introducing Guardson Sport. Protect your sporting equipment from COVID-19 for up to 14 days with Guardson Sport disinfectant treatment. Ideal in team sports settings with the sharing of balls, rackets, gloves, helmets and all other sporting equipment. Guardson Sport kills COVID-19 on impact, keeping surfaces free from COVID-19 and other viruses and bacteria for up to 14 days by creating a protective polymer layer on application. For more information on Guardson Sport and other quality assured, certified and approved PPE, visit yourcovidprotection.com.
At Paddy Power, we know competition for the remote control can be fierce at the weekends. So in order to give the non-football loving occupants of your house something to do, here are some of our top suggestions. Go for a walk. Walk the dog. Go cycling. Cycle the dog. Recycle the dog. Just go! All very good options, we say. And that's not the only one. If one leg of your 4+ fold ACCA lets you down, get a free bet on all football leagues and markets. Paddy Power. Max free bet €10. Min odds 1 to 5 on each leg. Online exclusive. Excludes shop bets. T's and C's apply. 18+. Need help? Visit gamblingcare.ie.
You're listening to TalkSport's coverage of Manchester United against West Bromwich Albion here from Old Trafford. I'm your host, Andrew Self. Alongside me is a former Manchester United and England left-back, Paul Parker. This is Premier League Live. Well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has made just one change to the side that beat Everton last time out, and they will line up with David De Gea in goal, a back four from right to left of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Victor Lindelof, Harry Maguire and Alex Telles. 2 holding midfielders in Nemanja Matic and Fred. 3 then in behind the forward man of Anthony Martial, and that is Juan Mata on the right, Bruno Fernandes through the centre and Marcus Rashford on the left. Well, West Bromwich Albion, they lost last time out and they have made a significant changes to their squad. In goal will be Sam Johnstone. They'll have a back 3 on the left of Branislav Ivanovic, Kyle Bartley and Shemi Ajayi, and then they'll have 5 strung across the midfield. That is Connor Townsend, Roman Sawyer, Conor Gallagher, Darnell Furlong and Mateus Pereira. Up top, Grady Diangana and Carlin Grant. I've got to ask Paul very quickly, what do you expect from today's game, Paul?
I expect Manchester United to grab hold of the game from the start, get control of the ball and dominate, to be perfectly honest, and not allow West Bromwich Albion to get enough time on the ball to try and build and take the steam out of the game. I want to see Manchester United attacking from the first minute.
It looks as though they need something, don't they? 1972, 73, the last time they lost 5 home matches at the start of a season. If I remember rightly, that was the Dennis Law backheel Manchester City put you down at the end of the season goal as well. So they really do need to find some form, because away from home they've got 7 away wins on the trot. Yeah, I know, it's just mad how it's been from, but this is as an attacking side, when you look at it, it's the best at the moment when we talk about it on paper that he has put out at Old Trafford in a Premier League game, and that tells me that Ollie was going at it the wrong way. He just needs now for this team to perform, for them to gain that confidence at Old Trafford, and for Ollie to believe in the fact of what he knew himself, or what he knows himself, is that when teams come to Old Trafford, they expect teams to go, they expect actually to go out and dominate games. Teams come there fearful, they sit back and they're fearful of Manchester United. I don't think they've been like that at all so far this season. Well, today's referee is David Coote, assisted by Lee Betts, Nick Hopton, and of course you've got Martin Atkinson, 4th official, and the VAR is Peter Banks, and assistant VAR Andrew Halliday. Manchester United playing in their traditional red shirts, white shorts and black socks, and it's a change kit for West Bromwich Albion, their famous yellow and green stripes, which green shorts and yellow socks. In the first half, where our position here in a gantry looking down on the pitch is very much like the television cameras would show you. So if you can imagine Manchester United's Old Trafford home here in your mind's eye, we're seeing it exactly as you would be as the players take the knee. Also, I can tell you that the players are wearing a black armband for Manchester United because of the death of former Manchester United and England international Albert Quixell earlier this week. Manchester United have the kick-off. They'll be playing from right to left, and Fernandes plays it back to Lindelof, who sweeps it diagonally, looking for Martial. Big strong header on this near side, away straight away by Ajayi, and it's picked up in the middle of the park by West Bromwich Albion. Played neatly on this near side and long up into the body there of Grant. And Grant just manages to lose out. Maguire squares it this time to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka back inside to Victor Lindelof. They're just playing football in their own half. Mata back to Wan-Bissaka, back to Victor Lindelof. You talked about the 2 midfielders while we were off air. McTominay and Fred being a little deeper. You think Matic could make the difference?
Well, I just think Matic will link the play better from deeper areas, because his ability, passing ability, and the fact of his confidence on the ball. I just think teams were letting McTominay and Fred have the ball because they just didn't believe that those two could actually have the ability to make those passes that mattered.
Well, there's a great run by Lindelof, squared it inside, and then it was just rolled through to Martial, who showed great feet to turn away from Kyle Bartley, who's in the end upended him on the far side of the pitch. A little bit of a coming together. It's going to be a free kick to Manchester United, and it's just outside of the penalty area of West Bromwich Albion. And so Sam Johnson in the goal away to my left looks out to virtually the corner of his 18-yard box. And don't forget you can tweet us here at TalkSport Live and myself at OutSelfie86. I'll explain and type that out for you, but this free kick is going to be swung in. It's in there, flicked out, palmed away by Johnston. Martial with a header, and on this near side, West Bromwich Albion managed to knock the ball on before it's blocked and out of play. But Johnston, I think that might have been one for the cameras, but reacted really well there, Paul.
Oh, he certainly did, and it was a good save in the end. What he's done, I mean, Martial comes off the back of his head. He meant to do that as well, and it was a good save, pushed out to the right-hand side, well away from goal.
Nicely done, Slaven Bilic there on the touchline. We got a lovely replay monitor here, Premier League, good stuff, you see. Gets us a replay monitor down to our right-hand side. But what we can do is Johnston, goal away to my left-hand side, knocks it long. Strong header on this near side by Matic, halfway line. Rashford comes together with Shemi Ajayi, comes off the pair of them. It's going to be a throw to West Bromwich Albion. I mentioned early on in proceedings that it's a little bit of a free hit for West Bromwich Albion today, isn't it? They can go there, and if they get the first goal, they can play perfect away football, can't they?
Yeah, in certain ways to say that, but I don't think Bilic is that way. Bilic knows, yes, he's not expected to win, but another defeat doesn't bode well for him as a manager in the fact of him being in a job, so he's going to want to try and take something. He'll take any kind of performance as long as he comes away from Old Trafford with something, so he won't just accept that they're going to get beat. He's going to want to make a point of making sure that he comes away with something from Old Trafford.
Well, they've set up in a 4-4-1, which means that they're going to try and swamp the midfield to a degree. If Manchester United do go sideways and backwards, then they are going to set themselves and be disciplined. But they've got a couple of games, Sheffield United at home and Crystal Palace at home in the next couple of games. I should think if he comes out of that without too many points, Slaven Bilic may be looking at the chairman's door. Played forward, and in the end it's going to be Bartley that goes across and returns it to Johnston. Bartley, who I have to say, for all you people that like beards, I think has got a fine beard. It's well shaped and well trimmed. And just to let you know about that, got Chris United 2 in. Hope United get the win. I know that Lulu B's gone for a 3-1 win as well for Manchester United. Could be a coupon buster if we're not careful here. And if you're a West Bromwich Albion fan, you will be looking for it to be a coupon buster today. West Bromwich Albion with the ball in their hands. Connor Townsend, about 4 or 5 yards inside the half of Manchester United, sacking a goal away to my right, throws it into the chest of Diangana, who gets it back, played by Gallagher back, and then it's Sawyer across to Shemi Ajayi on this near side. Darnell plays it down the line furlong, but going too early is Diangana, runs after the ball, stops, paused, linesman looks, then he goes for the ball again, flag goes up. Very annoying that, Paul, isn't it?
It certainly is. I mean, he knew he was offside, and I don't know why he went and done that in the end.
Well, as players, whatever level you play at, if you are offside, if there's a hint of it. It's when it's close, when it's really close, that you get a little bit, maybe angry. But Grady Diangana knew that. Of course, he stirred up most of the headlines for West Bromwich Albion when he signed from West Ham United, as a few Mark Noble and co came out and were very disappointed with the loss of Diangana from the West Ham ranks. Long ball forward to Marcus Rashford. He's down in his corner, down by the Stretford end, 2 yards away from the dead ball line. Rolls it back to Fernandes, back to Rashford. Now Telles to Matic under pressure from Diangana, goes to Rashford down the line for Telles, who's on the overlap, tries to get past his man, but in the end Daniel Furlong puts the ball out of play. 6 minutes gone here. It's still goalless. Poor throw in by Telles, loses out, and coming forward is Pereira. Pereira tries to play it through the centre, and in the end that's a very cheap free kick given away there, as Roman Sawyer got his body across the ball and ended up just taking a touch. Will fall into the floor from Matic. Manchester United want to get their people on the football. Matic is very quiet in his first few moments, but you like the way him and Fernandes link.
Yeah, I mean, I just like the fact of I'm just a fan of Matic in that just there at Manchester United at the moment. They haven't got anybody who can do the job as well as he does with and without the ball. When he hasn't got the ball, he seems to know where to stand and be in the vicinity of where the ball might be. He nicks it off of people's toes. He can pick the right areas to be in, even to deflect a pass away so people don't use that channel because he's in there.
Alex Telles intercepting the ball there, gives it to Matic, back to Telles. Telles just clips it over the halfway line, looking for Martial, who gets there first, but loses out to Branislav Ivanovic, who had been self-isolating after testing positive, but he's back, the 36-year-old Serbian. Not long into the Manchester United half. Lindelof down to Fred. Fred short, facing his own goal, plays it to Matic, who turns away from his man and plays it to the right back, Alex Telles, who goes for a raking cross-field pass, cut out by Connor Townsend. Little chest back to Kyle Bartley, and now back to Sam Johnston for West Bromwich Albion. Goal away to my left, and he puts a long ball up, easy for Maguire to win that above Karlan Grant. The Manchester United retain the ball again. Telles into the feet of Fernandes, back to Telles on the halfway line, now infield to Matic, then to Fernandes, who swings it out to Aaron Wan-Bissaka back into Fernandes, first time ball out to Fred, lovely dummy into the feet of Martial. Martial's layoff was a little strong, but Fred wins it back. Manchester United swarm all over the football, midway inside the West Bromwich Albion half. Mata, Fernandes, back now to Fred. Fred picks a nice ball out right on the lip of the centre circle, West Bromwich Albion side to Maguire, who steams forward, plays it out on this near side, the left hand side for Manchester United. Rashford comes in, dinks a deep ball in, looking for Fernandes, but always running away from goal and always beating him away there for a goal kick to West Bromwich Albion. But good possession of the football there, Paul.
Yeah, it was good link play from one side of the pitch to the other. It's involving Mata, Fernandes, all of them were involved in it. I mean, Fred was the instigator of it all, really. He doesn't generally get involved in those little passages of play, but he did that time. It was just that final ball in the end from Rashford. It was too much weight on it, but it was decent in the fact of the way they've started, more positive rather than being negative.
Headed there by Telles, who's gone straight to Rashford. Rashford infield, middle of the half there. Fernandes sweeps it to Mata. Mata just caught as he went to get the ball, but it's gone out to Bissaka. Back infield now to Mata. Mata 6 yards shy of the 18-yard box of West Bromwich Albion. He's twisting and turning. He's got Grady Diangana dancing behind him, but in the end he tries to play a pass. It is blocked by Diangana and away. Big shout out for Chris Cardiello. Good afternoon from Elkhart, Indiana. Let's go United. Keep the great commentary going, boys. Look, he's talking about you already, Paul, in Indiana. How lucky are you? And it goes to the feet of Rashford, but he can't control it. We've also got Vitalis on. He says it's going to be 3-1 to Manchester United. He's a big Manchester United fan. Come on, you Baggies fans out there around the world. Get your light out from under your bushel and show us where you are and tell us what's going to happen today. Meanwhile, on the halfway line, West Bromwich Albion pass the ball forward. Townsend into the feet there of Grant. Grant tries to swing it round the corner to Diangana, but it's cut out by Bissaka. Bissaka rolls it now all the way back to David De Gea. And De Gea, little right foot clip ball forward. Could be brought down beautifully on his side by Sawyer. Sawyer into Pereira. Pereira around the corner to Diangana. Rather strong, couldn't control it, but it's won back by Sawyer. Sawyer now plays it forward. And now West Bromwich Albion on the attack. Crossed in deep, near side. Coming across, Telles looks at exactly who's out there, and there's nobody there. Who did he see there, Paul? Who did he see?
I don't know. I mean, I've seen Conor Gallagher play quite a few times, a lot of times when he was on loan from Chelsea at Charlton, and he's always stood out. He went to Swansea and done reasonably well, and he's definitely a better player than what just happened there. I mean, I was expecting someone to be there who's been that good as far as I'm concerned. That was just something I've never seen him do.
That's a mark of one of my passes. I used to berate the person that wasn't there, just kick it into space because I was so useless, and then say, you should have read it. There we are, little Fred goes down. David Coote says no free kick. Pereira tries to twist away from Lindelof. He does, and in the end just loses out and catches Fernandes, who was covering well. Just got a shout out to Robinho W81. Dear TalkSport Live, please find the person from Liverpool who called the sports bar last night and said that City would wipe the floor with Spurs today. He's obviously very happy with that result today, but we'll get it through to the right people. We will do. We do a good job down here. And currently 11th minute, Man United 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. Back at this game, which is the one that really matters at hands now, as Darnell Furlong goes forward. Fernandes works really hard, doesn't he? Bruno Fernandes got himself across the game. doing more defensive work at the moment, Paul, than attacking.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about him. You don't ask him to do it. He does it off his own back. He's one of those, sometimes you want him to take a breather, but he won't let himself do that. He wants the ball in every area. He would go back and win it, and then go and join in at the other end of the park as well. He's got that much about him. He's an old-fashioned centre-half. That's what he is. Centre-half, central midfield player, Andrew. They called him, the old name for him was box to box.
Do you know what I love about what you said? He actually started as a centre-half at his first club. Break on here for West Bromwich Albion. Great tackle there by Lindelof. Watch the feet of Dean Garner, but Dean Garner's won it back off Matic. Up by the Manchester United penalty area. Fred gets a toe in, but the ball breaks out on the far side to Connor Townsend, who tries to cross, and it's blocked. Manchester United now with Mata 12 yards away from his own dead ball line. Dean Garner gets a toe in, it just roll harmlessly away for a goal kick to Manchester United. But yes, Bruno Fernandes originally started as a centre-half, and then at his first club turned around and said, no, I want to be a midfielder, and certainly he has turned himself into a very good midfielder.
Yeah, I can't imagine him playing centre-half. I mean, he loves a challenge. He does read situations well, so he could be a centre-half, but he's definitely a very, very good midfield player.
He's been possibly the little... We talked about the drawstring of a duffel bag. Good ball there through now. Martial breaking down the side. Ivanovic into Martial. Oh, the chance there. Rashford came across, stood over it, expecting somebody to come in behind, and a real chance there for Manchester United, but nobody was following the little dummy from Marcus Rashford as he runs to the front post, Paul.
Yeah, I don't know why he's done that, because I don't think anyone would have called for it. He's gambled on someone doing that. It's slightly behind him. He could have gone and got it, but he wouldn't have been facing goal. But to actually do that, I just think he's done that because it's behind him rather than he believes that there was someone directly behind, because there's no way that he got a shout there because there was no one around him. He's tried to improvise, it just hasn't worked out.
Yeah, another ball through. Martial tries to get on it. Johnson comes out of the West Bromwich Albion goal and collects. I just wonder if the pass, because the pass was sort of behind him, I wonder if he thought the person that was putting the cross-stroke pass in had seen somebody behind him, therefore thought it's easy for me to let this go.
Yeah, but generally if that normally happens like that, the person who's played that pass would shout over.
Yeah,
would definitely shout over just to make him aware of the intention.
Just going back to Bruno Fernandes, we talk about those little cogs inside that makes things happen, as Tellers has just fouled Darnell Furlong just about on the halfway line here. Fernandes could be that cog, couldn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. He's definitely proved himself as a player already in a very short space of time. You look at where Manchester United would be if you take away his goals and assists. United would be seriously struggling, and they're in 14th at this moment in time, so it tells you how bad it could have been.
Terrific bit of skill by Connor Townsend there, retrieving a poor pass from Roman Sawyers, but he's done well. Gets it back to Bartley. Bartley goes long and diagonal, but it's cut out by the left back for Manchester United, Alex Telles. Clips the ball forward, looking for Marcus Rashford. Just flicks off the head. Ivanovic goes back and plays it all the way back from the side of the West Bromwich Albion penalty area on the right hand side to Johnson, who just clips the ball up. Big strong header there by Nemanja Matic. Played forward again. Diangana tries to bring it down. Fred wins the second ball. Fernandes picks out a nice pass to Mata. Mata on the halfway line. 6, 7, 8 yards inside the West Brom half. Plays it to the overlapping right back. Wan-Bissaka into the feet of Marshall. Back to Wan-Bissaka. Back out to that far touchline to Mata. Mata comes in on his left foot. Rolls it into the feet of Matic. Matic back round the corner towards the halfway line to Lindelof. Lindelof square to Maguire. Maguire now finds Fernandes, who's in another position altogether. Good work from Rashford. Gets it back to Fernandes. Back into Rashford, who now turns to face the West Bromwich Albion penalty area. Out to Telles. Back to Fernandes, into the feet of Matic, who steps away from one but can't get the ball past Roman Sawyers, who goes back to Branislav Ivanovic, who on the edge of his box goes back to Johnson, who gets out the pitching wedge and clips it out to the far side to Connor Townsend for West Bromwich Albion, midway inside his own half. Premier League Live, Manchester United 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. A super Saturday of football today. But no goals so far at Old Trafford, although Manchester United pressing there with Fred. And West Bromwich Albion playing out from their own 18-yard box. Ivanovic now finds Gallagher, Conor Gallagher. Looking very much like a Todd Cantwell hairdo going on there. Out to Shemi Ajayi, who's passed forward to Diangana, is picked up by Maguire. Manchester United come the other way now to Rashford. Rashford level the 18-yard box of the penalty area into the feet of Fernandes. First time left to Marshall. What a save that is by Johnston. Maybe hit it too well, maybe telegraphed it too much, Paul.
Oh, for me, that you got to call that a good save, to be perfectly honest. He's just tried to pick a spot, and again, Sam Johnson has got down so well. I mean, people say it's close to him, but people say sometimes that's difficult for goalkeepers to deal with when it's close to him. But he's got his arm down there, and he's got good strength in that left arm as well to push it away as well.
Superb, almost anticipatory skills there. He's gone, it's almost taken a chance. He's got down there, and as you say, it is a really big, strong left hand, and he has kept his side well and truly in it. The ball by Rashford, lay-off by Fernandes, first time swept shot in from 8 yards by Martial to Johnston's right, and he gets down beautifully to palm that ball away. It looked every inch as though that was going to be Martial's first goal of the Premier League season, Paul. Yeah, and it should have been, except for the fact of it was a top save from a very good goalkeeper. And again, Fernandes is involved. So unselfish the way he's touched that ball in perfect weight for Martial to deal with it and hit it first time. But again, I say it was a wonderful save from Sam Johnston. Indeed it was. The thoughts there of former Manchester United, Fulham QPR, England defender Paul Parker. Fernandes with a free kick up to the edge of the box, headed away by Ivanovic for West Bromwich Albion. Fred leaves it to Bissaka, who just stands the ball up down that far side to Maguire, who cuts in field, clips the ball back to the halfway line to Fernandes, who was covering his centre-half compatriots who had disappeared. Telles into the feet of Martial. Martial tries to twist and turn, but it's easy for Shemi Ajayi just to take it off his toes and play it back to Johnson, who slightly awkwardly clips the ball out to his left-hand side and finds Connor Townsend, who gets past Fred. Fred, though, sticks to his task, and so does Connor Townsend. Halfway line, he beats him again, does Connor Townsend, and clips it down the line. This time it's Carlin Grant who clips it into Grady Diangana. Back to Carlin Grant, and I have to say that West Bromwich Albion's, I would say, youthful exuberance is giving them a good chance here at the moment in the midfield skirmishes, Paul. How about that for a mouthful? Yeah, I mean, I wanted to say for a little while that they've really come about it and doing their job really well at this moment. They're really keeping in there. Unfortunately enough, United have started reasonably well, because if they had started as they had done in previous games, it could have been poor, quite bad for them. Because at the moment, West Brom haven't come here as a team sitting at the bottom. They've come here as a team sitting at the bottom with a little bit of belief as well. Bit of freedom football. Diangana back to Gallagher. Gallagher to Sawyer. Sawyer to Pereira. Mateus Pereira now to Shemi Ajayi. Back in field. This is midway inside the Manchester United half to Roman Sawyers. Square it goes now to Carl Bartley. Bartley plays it down that left flank, where Townsend turns it back to Bartley. Into the feet now of Gallagher. Gallagher comes away from his man, gets it back to Sawyers, back out to Connor Townsend, down the line to Grady Diangana. Little dink ball in, chance for the run here for the full-back down to the dead ball line. Has it gone out of play? It has. Well worked on that far side. Connor Townsend just letting it drift over the dead ball line when dragging it back, but well played there from West Bromwich Albion. Yeah, they've really kept the ball well, and belief in their own ability. And just to the fact of, I have to say, Harry Maguire gets beaten a little bit too easy. He's fortunate enough that the touch of Connor Townsend was that little bit too heavy, but otherwise, again, Harry Maguire's gone out too square, too quickly, and Townsend has used the pace of Maguire going in towards him just to get around him, but his touch knocked it a little bit too far. Yeah, you're quite right. Again, as normal, the man that knows his defensive art. Just seeing a replay, and as David Cooke gets his equipment reattached, and that's his technical equipment, I might add. I'm glad you added that on. Yeah, well, you know, there's some people a bit like me that live in a gutter, and they may have taken that the wrong way, and I couldn't allow that to have gone. At TalkSport Live is the Twitter handle. Please get in touch. Let us know where you are in the world enjoying this game. You can follow me as well at Selfie86, SELFY86. And dare I say your Twitter handle, Mr. Parker? Yeah. Of course I can. At Real Paul Parker 2. Superb stuff. Ball through. Chance here for Carlin Grant. Edge of the Man United box. Fires a shot in. It's right across the face of goal. Looks like De Gea got down to his right smartly and put it away for the first corner, Paul. Yeah, Grant's got on there. Grant works really hard, but he doesn't get many shots off because West Brom don't generally get a lot of opportunities. That's what it's been this season. He hasn't had many opportunities, but he got a deflection, and then De Gea's got the touch. I don't know if it was definitely going to go in without the De Gea touch, but he's had to do that because of the deflection off of Lindelof. To make sure, well, there's going to be a corner here. First corner of the match for West Bromwich Albion. Indeed, any side here. Goal away to my right. De Gea looks out to his right. 21st minute. It's going to be played short to Pereira. Pereira now left on his own. Puts the ball in. Oh, chance there of a decent header. And it's the old Manchester City and Chelsea adversaries, Bratislav Ivanovic, that got up. But his forehead couldn't guide it on De Gea's goal.
Yeah, that was a bit strange that they've allowed that ball to get played back to a player standing on the corner of the box so easy to be able to put a ball in at a better angle than what it would have been from a corner. And we've seen Ivanovic score so many goals like that for Chelsea.
Yeah.
So many important goals he scored for Chelsea as well, Ivanovic.
Play to Alex Telles. I think I added a little bit of Man City at Matthews because he didn't like them at any point in time. Telles, little reverse ball to Rashford. Rashford into the feet of Fernandes. Superb challenge by Ivanovic, who's playing out of his yellow socks at the moment. Matt has lost the ball to Conor Gallagher. He makes his way to the halfway line and twists one way. Entices Aaron Wan-Bissaka to put a foot in. Catches him on the back of the Achilles and down he goes.
Yeah, that was about he got caught the wrong side there, Wan-Bissaka, and he's made his forward run too early. He's gone off the run before even Mata's got control of the ball, and because Mata, that wasn't a good ball that come out to him, he could have been he gets caught out of position and gives away a sloppy foul.
Well, we're seeing an even game because of the defensive anomalies of Manchester United at the moment. You've mentioned quite a few already as Diangana tries to clip the ball in, about Maguire being too square, Wan-Bissaka not timing his runs, leaving people short at set pieces. Could be a worry, but coming away is Fred tries to slide it through, but that's terrific defensive work there as Anthony Martial looks to get through onto a football. Shemi Ajayi getting across there and taking the ball off his toes. West Bromwich Albion, if you're out there and you're a Boing Boing Baggage fan, you're right in this game, I can tell you that.
Yeah, they've come into the game, they've got themselves into it. United had a lot of positive possession, progressive possession going forward, and they've slowly got themselves back into it, West Brom, and that's because they're playing, they're trying to get as many touches on the ball as well, and that's what's got them in good opportunities, or good positions I should say, in the attacking thirds.
Mateus Pereira tries to slide the ball infield there to Grady Diangana. Wan-Bissaka this time, good defensive work, feeds it to Fernandes, Fred, and then Telles, back to Matic. Matic just stands a little 30-yard ball from left to right to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, 6 yards inside his own half. Gives it back to Lindelof. Short for the ball is Fred. Back to Lindelof it goes. Again, we talk about the discipline and shape of size. Manchester United taking a long time to get that ball over the halfway line. Little dummy there by Juan Mata, not read by Anthony Martial, and tidied up by Connor Townsend. Back to Johnson. Johnson plays it out to Shemi Ajayi, who gets swarmed over by red shirts, and in the end it is given away by West Bromwich Albion just inside their own half. Telles down the line, poor ball. Roman Sawyers will try and see this out. Gets it now, clips it past Rashford, goes down the line, and in the end too much strength there from Marcus Rashford, and you think you heard him say you're joking, but good work. Always tell you to get your body in between the ball, don't they, Paul?
Yeah, that's the way the game is now. It's all about body shape and body position with and without the ball, and they spend so much time in training now with young players to get their body in the position to say if they want the ball they're going to have to try and go through you, and if they don't go through you, then that means that you can actually go on and achieve something with the ball, or you can earn the right and get yourself a free kick.
Absolutely. Ball is going to go away for a throw to West Bromwich Albion. What do we got? Coach Mersky, Bartlett, Illinois tuned in. Nice to have you along. Joe Ely listening from Indiana, USA. I followed all 4 matches on TalkSport today. Yet as a Man City fan, it's sad to see them now mid-table. Thanks for the excellent commentary. You're getting more plaudits, Paul. Loving this. And of course we've also got Sammy Olawale. Really enjoying your guys from Ibadan in Nigeria. Manchester United must win today so that Jose Mourinho taunt will hit us a little less. Spurs topping and United losing is hard to swallow. Love the Jose all the same. There we are, keep them coming in as this game goes into its 25th minute. Manchester United 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. Paul Parker, the former England and Fulham, QPR and Manchester United full back alongside me, giving us the excellent, incisive view as a player, and a player of real note as well. Played here. Is it an intimidating place to play? Old Trafford?
Yeah, when you go, as an opposing, yes, without doubt. And I'm saying it earlier, it's just when you get in the tunnel and you have a look to what's to your side here, then straight the side of you it does intimidate you, because you look at them and you think, wow, and then you go out there, then obviously they've got to deliver. 9 times out of 10 during that generation they delivered.
Didn't they just? Anyway, what great times it was for you as a Manchester United player. Anyway, far side, Bissaka, Fernandes into the feet of Mata back to Martial on the edge of the West Bromwich Albion penalty area. Mateus Pereira puts his arm on his shoulder and he finds that precious spot that takes all the bones out of Martial's body, and he falls to the floor looking for a penalty, and quite rightly nothing given, Paul.
Sloppy. That is so poor. That an arm on the shoulder does not knock you over, because otherwise, if that happens, everywhere you go, the moment someone tapped you on the shoulder to say hello, you'd fall over before you actually look round and see it's your mate. That is absolutely shocking by Martial. That is absolutely letting your teammates there down. You've got in a great area, they've worked hard to get you there, and you've just taken the easy way out, as far as I'm concerned there, Martial.
He has indeed. Could have got a card for that.
Yeah,
could have got a card.
They've got to start doing it, Andrew, now, because we're getting too many players who are using, when they say if there's contact in the box, you've got to go down. No, you don't. You don't have to. You go down because of the fact of the contact has made you go down, and it's effective you getting on the ball to have a shot or to put someone inside the box.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. It's surprising what a 6'2" bloke can fall over for nowadays. Tellez with a free kick for Manchester United. Back to Matic, back to Tellez, level with the 18-yard box. Fires a ball in. It's Ivanovic's forehead that does it again. Oh, my word. You can hear the laughter of Paul Parker there, because Marcus Rashford has just given away a rather cheap, unnecessary foul, I would say.
Well, it's just the reaction of it. I don't know who was that. Was that Pereira? I really don't know. Oh, there's no one near him. I don't know how.
Watch the arm. Just here. We've got to replay that. Oh, it's a little tug. It's a little tug.
No.
I know, Paul, but we come from an age where, footballers were footballers, but that was a fistful of shirt, a Clint Eastwood film.
But I always turn around and say, someone's going to pull back on your shirt, you don't fall forward, do you?
True, you're absolutely true. Stop being so commonsensical, Paul. Anyway, it's like being at home with a wife, yeah? I have a little moment of madness and she calms me down, and I've got Paul Parker here doing it to me today. Anyway, right, back here is goalless between Manchester United and West Bromwich Albion. 29 almost on the clock. Tellez down the line. Rashford can't get it down. Pereira gives it back though, and now Rashford tries to come away. Slid in there by Pereira. A little Brazilian coming in from the side, according to David Coote. I have a very interesting story about David Coote and the playoff first leg between Russian and Diamonds and Oxford United at a fast food restaurant on the way home. That's all I'm going to say. I'll tell you off air, it's quite funny. Right, there we go. Maguire has the ball. He plays it back to Nemanja Matic. You feel for Paul Parker as the ball goes through the Mato. Just couldn't stretch his little legs out far enough to get that. You feel for Paul Parker today, because I do go off at tangents. If a door opens, Paul, I will go in there, and David Coote opened one there for me. It's a lovely ball through. Juan Mata has been quite quiet though, couldn't quite stretch his leg far enough to control that as he ran from right to left inside the West Bromwich Albion penalty area.
I think what you find with Mata, if he doesn't get a lot of the ball, what you find is he'll start to wander in, and he'll get closer and closer to Fernandes, and then those two will start playing little passes within each other. Maybe the odd player, the third player, will join in. That's what he does, and he'll leave Wan-Bissaka as it is wide on his own, and then he'll ask a question of the West Bromwich Albion player or players. What are you going to do? Are you going to mark me, or are you going to stay out there? And he'll drag someone in, and then he'll leave Wan-Bissaka in a one-against-one situation with Connor Townsend, because I think somewhere along the line Conor Gallagher's going to have to make his mind up soon what he's going. If he does step in, is he going to go with him, or is he going to hope that West Brom can keep possession and then go outside himself and be free?
Well, I can tell you, just as that's gone away for a goal kick to the Baggies, there was a ball just a moment. Mata did exactly what Paul Parker said. He'd come inside and played a little ball off to Fernandes, made an excellent run. Fernandes used Mata's run as a decoy and then tried to deliver it to Martial, but got it all wrong, which was a little squeal in the background as Paul was talking. But it's just not quite clicking at the moment for Manchester United, whereas West Bromwich Albion, after 30 minutes and a goalless and well in this game, will be quite happy with what's happened, because Johnson's made one save and not several saves, we should say.
Yeah, I mean, they've started well, United, but West Brom have grown into the game.
Indeed, as Matic inside his own penalty area, squares it to Telles. Telles short ball forward, some 12 yards to Rashford. Rashford still midway inside his own half. Plays it into the feet or behind Fernandes again. It's just that 1 yard either side, and the move breaks down and the ball is picked up by the Baggies. And they play it all the way back to Sam Johnston in front of the Stretford end, away to my left-hand side. He hooks it out far side. Connor Townsend goes up, wins a header, gets it back to Conor Gallagher. Gallagher tries to go down the line to Carlin Grant, who stops it nicely, but trying to get the ball back to one of his teammates. It finds it's blocked by Bissaka. Bissaka goes back to Lindelof. Lindelof square to Maguire. He's 3 yards outside his own penalty area, and he now plays it out to the left-back, Alex Telles. Telles looks for the channel run. This time the run is made by Fernandes, who tries an expansive flick over his head on the volley, but it goes up more than into the box, and it's headed away by Shemi Ajayi for a throw into Manchester United level with the 18-yard box of West Bromwich Albion. Telles now looking to throw the ball into the corner. The person that gets there, of course, is Bruno Fernandes, but he's shepherded well there by Roman Sawyers and can't keep the ball in play, and it's going to be a throw to West Bromwich Albion. A lot of work rate, a lot of industry from West Bromwich Albion.
Oh, there certainly is. I think United, this is one of their better, this is maybe their better start. They've shown more energy and desire when they started this game and what they've shown in their other home games. The difference is though, when they've gone this way, West Brom have actually matched them in that sense. So it's important for United to score that first goal. For after the way they've gone about it, they need that on their confidence side, because if they were to go behind and given what they've put into it, I don't know how they would actually react to it. Scoring that first goal will make such a difference.
Almost like there's a little bit of grit in the cogs of the wheel of Manchester United, because it's just stuttering on that final sort of travel into the final third for Manchester United, which West Bromwich Albion, in fairness, are coping with admirably and trying to go back the other way. So it's not as though it's all Manchester United's fault that they're not leading. West Bromwich Albion are doing a fine job. On the far side, Bissaka over the halfway line. Looks to come in field just by the centre spot. Matic will look to his left hand side, plays it out to Fernandes, who plays like an orthodox left winger now. Cuts in on his right foot, goes past Pereira, stands the ball up. Mata at the back, follows it back. Martial with a chance, little touch off his toe. It wouldn't sit down, and Johnson just poked it off the end of his toe as he went for the volley from 4 yards. And that was a great ball by Fernandes. And Mata, what a lovely run, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that Fernandes and Mata have got this telepathic reading between them. When they get going, they're a joy to watch. And Mata makes this. Everyone, he ain't quick. The problem is with Mata, it's a massive problem. He's got a quick brain.
Yeah,
that's the thing. And the feet are never going to beat the brain. And that's what he uses his brain. He makes an angle run for almost a straight pass, which is bent with the outside of the foot right in a position, and he couldn't do any more than what he's done, and just gets blocked on his way. Sam Johnson again makes a great decision as a goalkeeper.
Just ball wouldn't sit down for Martial. He just got his toe out, his big toe, I would say, his big index finger, which is a different part of the body altogether, but he got it off the toe of Martial, and that allowed West Bromwich Albion just to breathe a sigh of relief as the ball goes forward now with West Brom 12 yards inside the Manchester United half. Pereira tries to pick a pass, but it's blocked. Falls to Sawyer plays it in between two West Bromwich Albion players, and Manchester United return it ball with Fred and Fernandes, but they're still well inside their own half. Fred's gone for a bit of a clipped ball in the middle of the park, but he's been helped out by his centre half Maguire, who picked up a second ball and played it to Mata out to Telles into the feet of Mata popping up on this near side, gets fouled by Shemi Ajayi. I've got to say something. We've had a tweet in here. Dale Robinson, for the love of me, do you not know I'm a diabetic? Listening outside Parker's restaurant in Drummond, Montana, Frank's Redneck Burger, cheeseburger sandwich, free sausage patties and fried egg topper. I'm starving, please Dale. It's 0-0. We need goals to feed our hunger down here. It is Victor Lindelof now, level up into the feet of Martial. He tries to spin away from Bartley. Nice bit of skill, gets him away from Roman Sawyers. He's on the edge of the box on his right foot, drills a shot in. Sawyers gets back for the block. First Manchester United corner. Paul, you never had problems with your weight throughout your whole life, did you?
I think we all have problems. It's about how you deal with it, really, and it's about how conscious you are of your weight and what you decide, and when you decide when you're at your heaviest, is the belly too big? Are you having too many pints of lager? If you come off the lager, then you decide that you'll have wine. The problem is you start drinking too many bottles of wine.
Dietary tips here from Paul Parker. You get the works here. First corner for Manchester United in front of the Stretford end. Looking out of his goal to his right, Sam Johnston. Fernandes will put the ball in. Dresses the ball, flicked right across the face of goal, high in the air. Maguire gets it down, fires a shot in, knocks Kyle Bartley to the floor. I think he's out cold. He's taken that right at the side of the temple, and he went down poleaxe, but I think the captain, Kyle Bartley, is going to be okay. Was there a foul in there, Paul?
There was a foul by Maguire. That, if that had gone in or something, it wouldn't have been given. He's pushed him away. Yeah, that wouldn't have been given even if it had gone in. And I'll tell you what, fair play to Bartley, by the way. That has hit him like maybe in the chin. I've seen boxers go down for things like that, and he's gone down and he's just virtually said, leave me alone, I'm getting up. I do like that. That's a proper centre half as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, just no, he can fall over for that. We'll allow him to fall over for that, won't we?
Yeah, well, I'm going to commend him for that. While you commended him for his beard, I'm commending him for his bravery.
That's what we love here. You see, everybody gets a little bit of the love from the commentary team here. Paul Parker sharing the love out now. Wan-Bissaka, little back heel to Fernandes. Fernandes trying to orchestrate things for Manchester United. Back to Matic, 3 yards inside the half of West Brom. Down that right touchline to Mata. Mata curls the ball down the line. Wan-Bissaka tries to spin away from Connor Townsend. Goes down, but the throw's gone the way of West Bromwich Albion. Trevor Balmer hoping for a baggage win while I hang up the Christmas tree lights as per the boss's instruction in San Antonio, in Texas. Lovely. Got the Christmas lights up. Yeah, there we are. My lights are up in the loft. And that's all I'm going to say. Kyle Bartley's got himself to his feet for a throw-in. It is a good beard. Throws long down the line. Good header by Aaron Wan-Bissaka, kept in by Mata. Mata back to Fred. Fred gets enough on it to get it to Rashford. Rashford, short pass back to the halfway line to Matic. Smashes out to the left back, Alex Telles, who into Rashford. Back to Telles. Can he ride the Shemi Ajayi challenge? He does get the ball again. Now it's back to Rashford. Rashford to Fernandes. Fernandes, amazing feat to get the second pass in there. But it's been cleared by West Bromwich Albion on the edge of their own 18-yard box. Harry Maguire gallops back. Manchester United seem to carry more threat, though, than West Bromwich Albion, if we're totally honest.
Yeah, well, you'd expect that anyway. But, I mean, it's just their final pass in the end, and the more they can get Mata in the game, you just believe there's more chance of them maybe getting that opportunity to score that goal.
Telles and Rashford happen, clipped into Mata. Mata's come this side, little layoff to Rashford into the box, on his right foot, out of the box now to Fernandes. Fernandes square, it was a good ball as well. Now Aaron Wan-Bissaka's got there. I thought that Kyle Bartley would be first to the ball, but there was a little hesitation from both players, and the first to react was Bissaka. He gets there, and in the end he plays it against the legs, and it's going to be a throw level the 18-yard box of West Bromwich Albion.
If that was a more positive player there in Wan-Bissaka, he would have actually gambled on that first ball rather than seeing, oh yeah, it's got there, and then going. If he'd have gambled, he would have been there to get a shot off at least.
Lindelof's got to do some tidying up in front of Carlin Grant. Grant gets it to Fred. Fred spins away as Grady Diangana's got the wrong side. And Walter Pay, 34, listening as the Jets fly over me at Fort Lauderdale Air and Sea Show. Look at that. Lovely to have you along, Walter. Where are you going, Man U or West Bromwich Albion? Come on back to us at TalkSport Live. Harry Maguire gets the ball 3 yards inside the half of West Bromwich Albion. Square to Lindelof. Lindelof into Fred. Back to Lindelof now. Lindelof 18 yards shy of the 18-yard box. Back he goes some 10 yards to Matic, who's right level with the lip of the centre circle. West Bromwich Albion side. Short pass to Maguire. Maguire through to Mata, who's full of flicks and tricks at the moment. But that one didn't come off, and West Bromwich Albion get it back to their keeper Sam Johnston, who leathers the ball a long way away. Paul, you played with some mercurial, wonderful players, both at club level and at international level. You know, there with Peter Beardsley springs to mind a bit with Juan Mata. Impish, impudent, willing to try things, always making things happen.
Yeah, definitely. We never knew what Pete was going to do. The ball could go to him. He had incredible ability, but he was just one of them who would improvise so much. There wasn't nothing basic about him, Peter Beardsley.
Yeah, he was a terrific player, wasn't he? Absolutely loved his football as well, didn't he?
Yeah, oh, he did.
I think he was still playing to a ripe old age as well.
I played against him, first of all, when he played for Carlisle United while I was at Fulham. Absolutely amazing that I played against him on quite a few occasions when he was at Carlisle.
Terrific. Poor ball there. Manchester United almost getting themselves in trouble. And Carlin Grant's done really well to fashion something out of that, although he's lost the verdict to the linesman on the near side.
I don't know how he thought he was going to get that, to be perfectly honest.
I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. You've always got to appeal. That's what I say. As Mateus Pereira wins the ball, lip of the centre circle, West Bromwich Albion side, gets it to Conor Gallagher, runs forward 12 yards, plays out to Connor Townsend, down the line it goes. Gallagher keeps going, steps away from Fred over by that far touchline, into the edge of the box now to Grady Diangana, fires a shot in off the legs of Wan-Bissaka. West Bromwich Albion's second corner of this first half coming in the 41st minute, but again they've worked the ball well from front to back.
They certainly have. Every time they've done that, they have. And the thing about when they're working the ball, everyone's pushing as well. They're not just saying go up there, we're not going to push out, we're just staying there and defend just in case there's a counter attack. They are pushing on and they are trying to score this goal as a team, and you can see by the fact of the way they've gone with the corner how many players they've got in the box. They've got their big guns in the box as well. Given there's only 3-4 minutes till half time, they want to get a goal.
Can they get a goal? On the far side it is going to be Conor Gallagher who is going to whip this corner in. It's high, it's hanging up towards Bartley, flicks off the head of Kyle Bartley off the back of his head and loops onto the top of the net of David De Gea's goal.
Maybe that's an opportunity gone from there, to be perfectly honest. And I mean, I'm there watching the situation between him and Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire's moaning because his shirt's up round by his belly button. Look at the way he's grabbing hold of the neck of Bartley. He's just gone out shot there. Yeah. He's grabbing hold of his neck. So 6 one half dozen the other. You can't give one without giving the other.
There we are. We got another shot. Carol. I love Carol. She is making some mixed fruit bread at the moment, and she's listened to Match 4 of a great day of football at TalkSport Live. Thanks for rounding the day off. Selfie 86 real. Paul Parker 2 disappointed in Man City loss. There we go. Can't be helped. Pep Guardiola looking a little bit bereft after that one as well. And Chris Cardiello's back on. United need to bury the ball in the back of the net already. He's quite right, but they can't. It's not happening. Johnston's made a couple of very, very good interceptions. Clip ball for Bissaka, who gets down towards the dead ball line. Into Mata, little step over. Not read behind. Near furthest man forward was Alex Telles there. No Martial or Rashford coming in behind Paul.
Yeah, and the moment that ball went out to Wan-Bissaka, he had to do whatever he had to do. It had to be first time, and you could see there was only going to be Mata attacking that near post, the ball coming too much pace. He had to let it go under him, and when you see that Telles is there, you do wonder where was one of the central midfield players making a run from the penalty spot to the centre of goal.
Absolutely, no Rashford, no Martial. It was Telles was the first man on the scene.
I mean, I don't know where the centre forward was. I'd like to see that again, find out where he was, or at least where Rashford was.
Telles near side, over the halfway line into West Bromwich Albion territory. Little ball to Rashford I should say, back to Maguire. Square from Maguire to Lindelof. Lindelof just out to Matic. Matic now to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Back to Matic, 2 yards in from that right touchline. Now back to the halfway line to Lindelof, who's now got space just to jog forward into. Does a little square ball out to his right hand side to Matic. Nemanja Matic clips a crossfield ball square to Alex Telles, the left back, down the line to Marcus Rashford, who's been quite quiet, pulled out the England squad with a shoulder injury, but back today. Fred's made a promising run now, down towards the dead ball line, deep cross in. The only person there is Martial, but it's headed away by Connor Townsend, and he finds Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Lovely ball there by Juan Mata into the feet of Fernandes, and his first touch let him down. That's something you don't say a lot about Bruno Fernandes, Paul.
I think that Bruno Fernandes was looking to knock that ball first time, and I think he was looking to stun it, but he got too much of a stun. The ball, he never moved the ball.
Yeah, I agree. He wanted to sort of just stun it and kill it all in one pass, didn't he? It ended up just popping straight back off his foot. We got Walter Pay, 34, as a Liverpool fan, of course, West Bromwich Albion. Oh, mate, at least you came back to us, Walter. Free kick to Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes and Alex Telles stand over it. Taken quickly by Fernandes, who tried to catch Sam Johnson off his line. He did, but had no pace on the ball in. And Johnson goes back, catches it, falls to the floor as we enter the final minute of the first half. You'll have to do some rounding up for me in a minute, Paul, of this first 45. Quick thinking there by Fernandes, but not a great execution.
No, it's unlike him really. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. I think Sam Johnson definitely knew as much about it as what Fernandez did.
Well, Slaven Bilic and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, which manager would you rather be at half-time to do your team talk?
I think Bilic, I think his team talk is going to be done with a smile on his face in certain ways. He's not going to smile too much, but he'll be very, very happy for the fact it's still 0-0 and the fact of the way they've gone about it as well, because they deserve to be where they are at the moment, West Brom.
It's a difficult team talk, isn't it, when your side are performing well? You don't just want to say, like, more of the same because they think they're doing well and you need to keep them with a fire and on their toes, don't you? It's a difficult one, really, whereas Ole Gunnar Solskjaer should be sort of maybe getting the old polystyrene cups and flinging them around a bit and saying, look, you know, the final third, it's got to be better, surely.
Yeah, I mean, that's right. I mean, when you turn around and say more of the same, that'd be a bit of a cliche as well, wouldn't it?
I'm full of those.
If you come out and say that, but
I would be no good. David Coop blows the whistle for the end of the first half. Quick thoughts on that first 45, please, Paul.
West Brom got themselves slowly into the game, where United started very bright for themselves at home, where they haven't been doing that, and they started well. West Brom have got matured more and more into the game, and to be honest, they've got themselves a couple of corners out of it as well, and they've played as a unit as well, not a team just hanging on, sitting on the edge of their box. They're coming out, they're really pushing on to United and forcing them back and not making it easy for them. Good performance by West Brom.
Thoughts there of Paul Parker. At the break, in Manchester United 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. You're listening to Premier League Live.
What will you really gain from using anabolic steroids? Using illegal anabolic steroids can lead to nasty and serious side effects, both physical and psychological. Heart failure, infertility, hair loss, acne, mood swings, increased aggression. Don't lose out to steroid gains. Know the risks. Visit zerogains.ie. A message from the Health Products Regulatory Authority.
Amazon's Black Friday week is here, so you can either shop last-minute presents and be a Christmas nobody, or shop now and become a Christmas hero.
Wow, best present ever.
Amazon's Black Friday week, 20th to 30th November. Shop now, relax later.
There's certain matchday sounds we are all missing. But there are others we don't have to. Is Carlsberg Pilsner the best beer to enjoy while watching the match at home? Probably. Carlsberg Pilsner. Probably the best beer in the world. Enjoy Carlsberg sensibly. Visit drinkaware.ie.
This is not the time for business as usual. It's time for effort and imagination. It's time to use technology to start your online plans. It's time to work from home to stay in touch. It's time to look to each other. Scoil Céile. Ireland is working online with help from Black Knight and .ie, because now we need better than business as usual. Call Black Knight on 059 918 3027 or visit blackknight.ie. Create the Premier League atmosphere at home with Harvey Norman, the home of the big screen. Feel like you're on the pitch with our stunning range of 4K smart LED and OLED TVs from LG, starting from just $449. Plus, hear every kick, save, tackle, decision with LG's best-in-class soundbars. Get TV ready for all the big games with Harvey Norman. Shop online today or safely in our spacious stores. Harvey Norman, home of the big screen.
As Ireland's homegrown insurer, FPD knows it's empowering when someone has your back. So switch your van insurance to us and get up to 75% no-claim discount. Visit fpd.ie to request a quote. FPD Insurance. Support. It's what we do. Terms, conditions and underwriting criteria apply. 75% no claims discount is based on proof of 5 years no claims discount and available to new commercial motor customers only. FPD Insurance Group Limited, trading as FPD Insurance, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland. Commercial motor insurance is underwritten by FPD Insurance plc.
123inc.ie have your office needs covered. So whether you're an accountant, butcher, carpenter, dentist, electrician, florist, graphic designer, hairdresser, journalist, lecturer, musician, optician, retailer, teacher, solicitor, web designer, or yoga instructor, we've got what you need. And we're cheaper than your current supplier. 123inc.ie. For home, for office, for less.
Well, back here, the red half of Manchester United 0. and West Bromwich Albion 0. The blue side of Manchester City also got 0. They lost 2-0 to Tottenham Hotspur. Let's hear the thoughts after the match from Pep Guardiola and Jose Mourinho.
Today we had a plan, and the players know what they did to follow that plan, how difficult it was. The plan was not easy at all, especially because it was built on base of theory and tactical meetings and not on pitch work, because we didn't have conditions for that. And I'm happy with that. I'm happy with everybody playing for the team. You see, for example, Harry Kane performance. He did everything. He even scored a goal offside, but he did everything for the team. And I go from Serge Aurier until Steven Bergwijn, and every player had the same mentality. And I used to say that the most difficult thing in a team to be stable is the attitude. And we are getting there. The players are getting there.
All the teams are difficult. All the teams deserve all the respect. So the next game against Burnley will be difficult, and you have to try to make our position better. And we are not in the position to think now will go easier. So normally when you have a good round, always you can think about it. But football is so demanding, because it's the only sport then you can do like today. More chances, we concede less. They should shoot targets. We had much more. We were there. The counter-attacks, the chances, the goal is allowed, and you lose the game. In Chinese basketball and the other games, it doesn't happen. The better statistics you win. That's why this game is so special. And we have to do it is clean our mind, so it's still far away, and move forward.
Well, there we are, the thoughts there of Pep Guardiola, whose side were beaten 2-0 by Jose Mourinho's Tottenham Hotspur. Jose Mourinho, Paul, turned around the other day and said Son, Kane, Moura, best front three, with Bale as well, that he's had in all his time. Are you sure about that?
No, I don't think so. I think he's had some really good ones at this moment in time. If it's about him trying to keep the players on a high and what they're doing, that's a good thing to come out and say. But I think they'll look back over the teams that he's had, and they'll look at the front threes that they've had, and even those players who he's mentioned just then, or there I should say, would say, hold on a minute here. Thank you very much for that kind of praise, but we know that you've had some very, very good front three players.
Absolutely. Well, the game at hand here is goalless. We could do with a Harry Kane. We could do with some goal scorers, maybe from down the M62 from the red side of Merseyside. Here's your first half highlights. Good ball there through now. Martial breaking down the side. Ivanovic into Martial. Oh, the chance there. Rashford came across, stood over it, expecting somebody to come in behind, and a real chance there for Manchester United, but nobody was following the little dummy from Marcus Rashford as he runs to the front post, Paul.
Yeah, I don't know why he's done that, because I don't think anyone would have called for it. He's gambled on someone doing that. It's slightly behind him. He could have gone and got it, but he wouldn't have been facing goal.
Manchester United come the other way now to Rashford. Rashford level the 18-yard box of the penalty area into the feet of Fernandes. First time left for Marshall. What a save that is by Johnston. Maybe hit it too well, maybe telegraphed it too much, Paul.
Oh, for me, you got to call that a good save, to be perfectly honest. He's just tried to pick a spot, and again, Sam Johnson has got down so well. I mean, people say it's close to him, but people say sometimes that's difficult for goalkeepers to deal with when it's close to him.
Connor Gallagher, who is going to whip this corner in. It's high, it's hanging up towards Bartley. Flicks off the head of Kyle Bartley, off the back of his head, and loops onto the top of the net of David De Gea's goal.
Just maybe that's an opportunity gone from there, to be perfectly honest. And
well, there we are. Sam Johnston with a couple of stops, two from Anthony Martial, a header and one low to his left-hand side, and then getting a little finger away from the ball as it was about to drop on Martial for the volley. Cole Bartley hitting the top of the net. Harry Kane, you can't buy possibly now, Paul, but Manchester United do need a goal scorer, but they've got Cavani on the bench. Would you be introducing him?
I just think he needs a start. He needs runs. He needs a run, not coming on for 10-15 minutes. Somebody you need. When you've got somebody coming off the bench like that, even at half time, it will make West Brom think even more. His record speaks for itself. His goals in Europe, everything is done, and it's just, I just find it strange that he's not been given a run. Martial has struggled to score, struggled to perform in the Premier League so far, and you've got someone sitting there and he's mostly saying to himself now, I'm ready to go, please give me a go, otherwise I think you might end up losing him before he starts. If he's not getting if they're not scoring enough goals, United, if they're struggling, they need a goal scorer, you've got to get him on.
I'll tell you what, there's an interesting point I'm just going to trade. It's a bit long-winded, so please stay with me on this one. But Dean Saunders, the Welsh international, was playing for Brighton when Maurice Evans for Oxford United went and saw him. They were scouting him, and on the actual night, Dean Saunders knew, and he tells this story very well, that Maurice Evans was there and Brighton were a lower division compared to Oxford United at the time, and he missed an absolute hatful of chances, and he thought he'd blown his chance of signing for top-flight Oxford United at the time. And he actually got signed the next day, and one of the things Maurice Evans said to him, he said, well, I was useless, I didn't score any of those goals, there was several chances and I missed them all. And Maurice Evans said, yes, but you were there. And what I've just said to you is Anthony Martial 3 times as 2 on target and 1 just taken off the end of his toe. He's in the right places, isn't he?
Yes, without a doubt. What you said there, kind of kills kind of what I'm saying, but he hasn't, prior to this game, I think he's only had 1 shot on target or something like that. He hasn't been good in the Premier League at all. He's not in the game enough. He needs to be hungry. He needs to be more consistent in his game. Actually, in his game, you just don't, yes, he nicked goals at the back end of last season, post lockdown. He scored quite a few goals then, but he needs to add to that. He needs consistency and fulfil the potential. What reason why Manchester United paid 50 million for him? He hasn't really proven himself yet as a Manchester United player.
I'm just going to quickly look at my notes there. Anthony Martial is he's only 24 years of age, so I suppose there's still the best years, but how long do you persevere when a club like Manchester United want to get you to the top of the table? They want that title, they want to win. Well, they're interesting thoughts, as I say, from Paul Parker. Next up, live commentary of the second half of Manchester United versus West Bromwich Albion. It is goalless at the break here. Stuttering Manchester United in the final third, whilst West Bromwich Albion are well and truly in this game. Join us for the next 45 minutes. You are listening to Premier League Live.
Demanding a high performance from your team? You should be demanding the same from your tyres. The Irish Tyre Industry Association is urging motorists to stay safe this winter and check the condition of your tyres. You could even be liable for a fine and 2 penalty points if found driving with tyres below the legal tread depth limit of 1.6 millimeters. ITIA expert technicians will carry out a free tyre safety check to ensure your tyres are safe and legal. Visit itia.ie to find your local expert.
As Ireland's homegrown insurer, FPD knows it's empowering when someone has your back. So switch your van insurance to us and get up to 75% no-claim discount. Visit fbd.ie to request a quote. FBD Insurance. Support. It's what we do. Terms, conditions and underwriting criteria apply. 75% no-claims discount is based on proof of 5 years no-claims discount and available to new commercial motor customers only. FBD Insurance Group Limited, trading as FBD Insurance, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland. Commercial motor insurance is underwritten by FBD Insurance PLC.
Upgrade your home viewing experience at Curry's PC World. See every tackle, shot and goal in crystal clear definition with our huge range of the latest to market large screen TVs with massive savings. Like save up to €130 on Samsung 4K TVs from only $459. And get your TV for half price. 1 in 20 win half their money back. Buy any LG OLED TV to enter with prices from just $1,249. Shop the full range online at currys.ie.
Get ready and hold on tight because the Premier League is here! Which teams will stay on track and who'll go off the rail? Get the Irish Sun for top transfer news, exclusive star interviews and opinions from the biggest names in football. Plus expert analysis of every action-packed match in our fantastic goals pull-out each weekend. Stay up to speed because you never know what the Premier League is going to throw up. Pick up the Irish Sun today.
Introducing Guardson Sport. Protect your sporting equipment from COVID-19 for up to 14 days with Guardson Sport Disinfectant Treatment. Ideal in team sport settings with the sharing of balls, rackets, gloves, helmets, and all other sporting equipment. Guardson Sport kills COVID-19 on impact, keeping surfaces free from COVID-19 and other viruses and bacteria for up to 14 days by creating a protective polymer layer on application. For more information on Guardson Sport and other quality assured, certified and approved PPE, visit yourcovidprotection.com.
At Paddy Power, we know competition for the remote control can be fierce at the weekends. So in order to give the non-football loving occupants of your house something to do, here are some of our top suggestions. Go for a walk. Walk the dog. Go cycling. Cycle the dog. Recycle the dog. Just go! All very good options, we say. And that's not the only one. If one leg of your 4+ fold ACCA lets you down, get a free bet on all football leagues and markets. Paddy Power. Max free bet €10. Min odds 1 to 5 on each leg. Online exclusive. Exclude shop bets. T's and C's apply. 18+. Need help? Visit gamblingcare.ie.
Let's go. Come on. You are listening to TalkSport's coverage of Manchester United versus West Bromwich Albion from Old Trafford. Goalless at the break. I'm your host, Andrew Self. Alongside me is a former Manchester United and England fullback, Paul Parker. This is Premier League Live. Don't forget, big 4-match Sunday for you tomorrow. Fulham, Everton, Sheffield United, West Ham United, Leeds United versus Arsenal, Liverpool versus Leicester City. That is all coming tomorrow. We're topping the bill on this Saturday night, but it's goalless at the break. And Manchester United and West Bromwich Albion make their way out onto the field of play for this second half in the rain. The light rain up here in Manchester. David De Gea in goal for Manchester United. A back four of Alex Telles, Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof and Aaron Wan-Bissaka as your back four from left to right. Fred and Nemanja Matic hold in midfield, and then it's Marcus Rashford down the left, Bruno Fernandes through the centre, and Juan Mata down the right, although that's a very fluid three in behind Anthony Martial at the top of the park. For West Bromwich Albion in goal, Sam Johnston. They have a back three of Shemi Ajayi, Kyle Bartley and Branislav Ivanovic. That is going from right to left. And then they have two wing-backs in Darnell Furlong and Connor Townsend. In the middle of the park, Conor Gallagher, Mateus Pereira and Roman Sawyer. They are backing up Grady Diangana and Karlan Grant. In the second half, Manchester United in their red shirts, white shorts and black socks will be attacking the goal away to my right. So defending the Stretford end goal away to my left. And West Bromwich Albion, who are very happy to be goalless and doing their quick feet on the far side, are going to get themselves in and try and get themselves a point. Now, Manchester United, 7 away victories, haven't won at home. Paul Parker, will they rectify that in the second 45?
Well, I need a crystal ball at the moment, the way they're going. I like to believe that they can come out and start at least in the same vein they started the first half, and then progress a little bit more than that and add that little bit more positivity in that attacking third. They haven't really done enough to work Sam Johnston. He's made a couple of good saves, one interception as well off a ball back by Mata. Other than that, really, it hasn't really been good enough in there.
Ball goes back from the kick-off from Diangana back to Bartley. Bartley knocks it out on the far side. Darnell Furlong comes through the back of Alex Telles and gives away a free kick. Matic takes it quickly, plays it back to the goal away to my left-hand side as Edison Cavani goes through some yoga poetic sort of moves on the side, looking to warm up. We'll talk about the benches in a moment. It's quite a surprise on the West Bromwich Albion bench. I haven't really mentioned them at all today. For Manchester United, average age is about 21 years of age, their bench today, as West Brom try and come forward. Grady Diangana on the halfway line, trying to break in. Karlan Grant in behind Maguire. Karlan Grant's in. Maguire has a little nibble at him, forces him wide. Can he get the ball back to Diangana? No, it's back to Gallagher. Gallagher goes over. It's a penalty, and he's brought down. And Manchester United concede here in the first minute of the second half a penalty. Bruno Fernandes is protesting the innocence, but the man with the Todd Cantwell of Norwich City locks just caught below the knee there from Bruno Fernandes. His first touch hasn't been great, but his first touch there was the shin of Conor Gallagher. What do you think, Paul?
Well, I'm turning around and saying that if there is contact from Bruno Fernandes, you don't fall over like that. To be honest, I don't think there was any great contact or any contact at all for him to go down like that. That started from Maguire being caught the wrong side, and to be honest, they
are checking this for VAR, by the way.
No, I don't think so. I really don't think so. It just tells you so. If they give this, it's just Well,
it was given by the referee on the pitch. Let's first say that. Now David Coote is jogging off to find a 32-inch Pioneer, Samsung, any other make of TV you can think of on the side of the pitch to have a look, which normally means if somebody's saying, I think you better have a look, you might have made a little bit of a faux pas. Paul Parker feels there wasn't enough contact. There was certainly some contact.
Maybe, I don't know
but
if there
not
was.
enough.
I don't know if there was any, to be honest. Okay.
Has he got a little bit of ball?
I think he's got a little bit of the ball. I really do. I think there's a little bit of the ball.
I think he's got a little bit of the ball as well there. Actually, you're quite right. But I'm watching it several times.
Before the play, right?
Yep.
Okay, fine.
Look at that.
So it's drop ball to the goalkeeper's restart.
Oh no, too loud. Too loud.
You heard it before us. David Coote there's talking too loud and not turned his mic off. We've heard everybody from St George's Park back. It isn't a penalty, and it's quite correct, Paul.
Yeah, but I mean, be honest, that might not be a bad thing, to be honest, really. On that side of it, it happens in football in Australia. It comes out loud. The fans can hear what's going on, but I don't think it was a penalty. But as I was saying before, that started from Maguire. Grant has pulled away from him, and he's had a little bit of a nibble, which forced him wide. But he initially tried to pull back, touch Grant to get him back, because he knew he was going to run in behind him. And that's where the problem started from.
Manchester United come away. Maybe that may just buck their ideas a little bit up. In the first minute of the second half, they almost concede a penalty, but it wasn't a penalty. Overruled his own decision, did David Coote, as Marcus Rashford comes in from the left-hand side. Talking about microphones, I'll get to that in just a moment. Turned round the corner by Fernandes. Rashford can't take it. Shamir Jay comes away with it. Nice feet for the tall man. Steps away from one, up into the feet of Carlin Grant, who spins but doesn't get the ball away. Wan-Bissaka cuts it out and finds Fred. Do you remember? Go and ask Mike Gattin, a former England cricketer, captain and batsman, about microphones. I think he fell foul with an umpire called Shakarana some years ago in Pakistan.
Yeah, I can remember that, yeah.
That was quite funny though, wasn't it? I shouldn't say it was quite funny. It was finding the innermost thoughts as Rashford has a dart, and it's turned around the post there from Sam Johnson. Rashford about a yard outside the penalty area. Little knuckle shot with his right foot, and Johnson had to turn it around his right post. Good effort there, out of nothing.
It certainly was, and it's a minimal backlift, and he's just trying to hit on top of the ball there. You can see the way he set himself. I'll tell you what, that might have just gone on the inside of the post.
Corner for Man United. Telles knocks it in. Maguire, the target, is headed away by Bartley, comes out, shot in by Fernandes. Whistle has already gone, as I think Ivanovic was brought to the floor again by a person resembling Harry Maguire that looked more like Mick McManus from the old wrestling days. You can see why David Coote gave it at normal speed.
Yeah, but the thing I would say about it, David Coote was just involved in an incident just in the last few weeks, and I just wonder if he's gone and had a look at that because of what's happened to him prior. Because we've said many a time, why doesn't the referee go and look to make sure that he knows if there's a mistake, it's his mistake, he can own it. Don't allow other people sitting a million miles away, whatever, to go and make you look like a fool. And he's gone and looked himself and wanted to make sure that if he's got it wrong, he wanted to rectify it rather than him go and give something and find out about it and knows that the next day he was in a position to rectify that mistake and he never took it. And I think that's the reason why he's gone and done it.
I'm glad he did that, because he never rectified the mistake at Russian and Diamonds when Danny Bournemouth was brought down in the middle of the park and led to their goal. But I don't hold grudges, David. I don't hold grudges. Anyway, I've got a long memory, haven't I, Paul? And it goes to Pereira, who gets fouled by Maguire. It's interesting that Manchester United still not making the inroads you would have thought they would have, with the talent they have on display against a very industrious and team unit in West Bromwich Albion.
They've started well to almost get themselves a penalty, and United haven't really got going. You haven't got their key players on the ball quick enough. That's the most important thing, is to get your good players on the ball as early as possible so they can get their eye in. United haven't done that yet, so he's got to give it maybe another 5 minutes or so, 5 to 10 at the most, and then he's going to have to make a change, or he's got to really hope that the players out at the moment can get something going to at least the level of what it was in the first half.
Yeah, it's some impressive performances from West Bromwich Albion players. The man that actually went down for the penalty, I think, has had a very good game, Conor Gallagher. I also believe that Bartley at the back, as well as Shamir Jai, they're all playing very well. And if you're honest with yourself, Marcus Rashford has hardly played a part in this game to date. Such has been the Good impression from Darnell Furlong on the far side. Mateus Pereira now out to Darnell Furlong as we speak now. 12 yards shy of the Manchester United penalty area. Curls the ball into the penalty spot. It's over the head of everybody. Comes through. Chance here for a goal. Shot in there by the feet of Townsend. Connor Townsend, saved by De Gea. Low with his left foot. That was close, and that was poor defensive marking, Paul.
It was marking, it was positional sense. I mean, Wan-Bissaka's just got himself attracted to the ball, and he's gone towards the ball to head it. Just stay where you are, and it will come to you at best. But he's got an attack, and he's just gone underneath the ball. And
Mata into the box here, tries to clip it in. This time it's caught in the body of Darnell Furlong, who's adjudged to have used his arm in an unnatural position. What do you think about that one, Paul? Now, I know you play for Manchester United, but all fair on the penalty front here. They're asking the referee to have a little look. Let's have a little look on a replay. Yeah, his arm's out, isn't it?
Yeah, he's turned his body away, and his arms are out away, which, if you turn your body away, you don't have your arms down by your side. That's how silly it is, really. Was there intention for him to handball the ball? No, there wasn't. He actually hits the back of his arm rather than his actual hands, and
he's actually put his arm across his body but away from his body and turned his back, so he's almost shielding it.
Yeah.
But it still hit his arm, and this was always my worry about cute players, and I'm not saying Juan Mata did this, but cute players on a football field now with this interpretation of the law is they've only got to flick it up to an arm that's just away from the body. You can see there he's trying to cover it with his shoulder on the replay as he gets into the penalty area to cross it, but David Coote staying with his original decision. It is a penalty to Manchester United. 54 on the clock, and this could be the moment for Bruno Fernandes to put the Red Devils in front in their home game, and they've got a great record when leading.
Let's see if he's going to put the skip in.
Yeah, he has made himself a little bit of rough for his own back, hasn't he, with that skip just recently. Couldn't be as bad as the last game I did when we had Panenka tried in the last minute. I still shudder. He still wakes up with cold sweats. Anyway, it's Bruno Fernandes against Sam Johnston. Goal away to my right here at Old Trafford. 0-0 the score currently. 54th minute. Fernandes up. Little hop, goes in, great save by Johnston, who's a mile off his line, it has to be said. He's a long way off his line. He's at least a yard off his line when he's gone away to his right, but the free kick has been given by David Coote. There's been a little bit of argy-bargy off it. Let's have a look when the ball is struck. He's a long way off his line, I have to say.
Yeah, but VAR should pick that up, but they haven't on this occasion. They've picked it up on quite a few occasions prior. But sometimes you have to say good save.
It's a great save by Johnson. He's guessed right, he's gone back.
Taken again?
Yeah, again it's been a little shout. I noticed that when he made the save he was a long way off his line. You know, he's a good yard off his line there. You can see why that was pulled back. Still a terrific save. He's guessed right. He's got a big strong left hand on away to his left hand side. But Fernandes is going to opt to take it again. Now, will he still put that ridiculous hopping over the fire log just by the fire grate, step in again on his run-up and address to the penalty? Ridiculous. It does look silly, Paul. Get up there and give it a Stuart Pearce. Bang it in the bottom corner. Pick your spot, take it. Alan Shearer wouldn't be doing this. Here comes Fernandes again. Another hop, goes the opposite side, and this time Johnston guesses right. 56th minute, it goes the opposite side, but high and over the arm of Johnston. It's 1-0 Manchester United. What do you say, Paul Parker?
I want to say United, well done, you're in front, but I have to say you're fortunate to be in front. Maybe not deserve it the way West Brom have gone about it. Fortunate penalty.
It's a fortunate penalty. It's a fortunate to get a second attempt to take it, and in the end Johnston guesses right again, but this time it is just a bit too good. Not placed totally in the corner, but just beat Johnston. All ends up. Sometimes when you're a goalkeeper facing a penalty kick, you feel everything's against you, don't you? The players with a little hop, skip and a jump as he comes in, you save one and you've got to take it again.
Yeah, he did exactly the same as what he done in the first one, though. He stepped forward before the ball was struck.
Yeah.
So why doesn't that one get pulled back even though it's gone in the back of the net? Or is it because it's given us an advantage anyway?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm glad you said that because I don't know.
You're supposed to be the expert, I'm supposed to be the commentary, but there's nothing you can do, is there? When you come down to it, football has been sanitised to the point that you can now look at every single decision as much as you like and make it really, really... Common sense has gone out of the game, I think. You know, whereupon a referee would once upon a time rule with a degree of common sense, it's taken out of his hands now. I can take my shoulders, slope them big time, go and look at the screen, look at it as many times as I like and make the right decision according to the implementation of the laws of the game.
Well, I mean, in theory, what you're saying is that referees have lost they're just suddenly now refereeing. They ain't grabbing hold of the game with any authority now, because they've got two ways of getting out of it. One is to go touch their ear, and the other one is to run across and look at the TV screen at the side. Absolutely.
I'm good friends to a referee that would have refereed you a few times in the Premier League. As the ball goes forward, West Bromwich Albion, they've got a break. Mateus Pereira, 20 yards out, left foot shot, curls it wide. De Gea has a real scream as that ball whistles past his right post, but well away. Has a scream at his defence, because they really didn't shut down quick enough after taking the lead from the penalty spot moments ago. That referee's name was Dennis Hedges.
Oh yes, that's
and I talk to Dennis a lot, and I tell you what, he is absolutely mortified with the way referees are being stripped of any ways of really taking charge of a game, as you say. Now they can just sort of almost absolve responsibility and say, look, I want another look, and you know, it sort of killed those referees that had a little bit about them. Roger Milford, all those boys back in the day that led with a bit of a nod and a wink and knew what to do and knew how to talk to players, etc., etc. You know, they were fair. The game was fair, surely.
Yeah, I mean, you stood it as well. Once the decision was made, that was it. You got on with it. You accepted it. But now players can now virtually point and make, turn around and ask touch their ear, say, referee, you got to check with that, or then do the actual sign of the TV just to see if they can get help with that. So, there's too many changes.
Seen it in cricket. Originally it came in for LBW decisions and run outs, and now you see a player get a thick outside edge to first slip. And the umpire's even given up looking for a no ball, because he then says before they go off the field, let's check for a no ball, because I wasn't really looking. Now, once upon a time, that was a prerogative of an umpire to make sure it was, the no ball was called immediately. But once you bring technology in, it allows the person to absolve a certain amount of responsibility for his on-field duties, I feel. But there we go.
Well, it was always said the moment goal line technology come in that it was going to escalate. It took a long time, but it certainly got there with a vengeance.
Donal, your wish is my command. Can you tell us about the game? West Bromwich Albion clipping the ball forward. The chit-chat. Well, we've got to talk about things at the moment, because there's not a great deal going on the field of play. Manchester United lead by a goal to nil. Fernandes penalty in the 56th minute. Matic plays the ball out to Telles. Telles down the line. Martial heads it infield to Bruno Fernandes on the halfway line. He's got one short pass to Mata, but elects to go further out to the right back. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, 30 yards, close the ball in, just taken off his toes though. Nice bit of reading there by the captain of West Bromwich Albion, Carl Bartley. Got the ball back to Sam Johnston, but inadvertently, so no free kick for a back pass. Near side of the pitch, Connor Townsend has the ball back to Carl Bartley. Conor Gallagher comes short. Fred puts him under pressure, back to Carl Bartley, who now elects from 6 yards outside his penalty area to go back to Sam Johnson. Johnson had to shimmy a jai. His first touch was a little bit loose and put West Brom under pressure. Alex Telles reads the ball out to Darnell Furlong, and in the end plays it to Fernandes, but Fernandes a little bit off the game at the moment. His first penalty showed that he's never lacking in confidence, but that's not allied with the skill that we've seen from his time in a Manchester United shirt. Here, some of his first touches, some of his balls have not quite come off today. Breaking forward now is Fred. Fred rolls it to Juan Mata, 7 yards inside the West Bromwich Albion half. Back to Aaron Wan-Bissaka on the halfway line. Manchester United got their noses in front now, and it's all about game management. West Bromwich Albion have got to try and eke something out. They had a marvellous opportunity moments ago when Connor Townsend had a shot saved by David De Gea. But we know, Paul, that Manchester United's defensive rearguard is going to give an opportunity up to West Bromwich Albion in this game.
Yeah, there's every chance they could just go and do that if they switch off, and if they allow the game, they think they can just see the game out, and the game slows down. If the game slows down too much, that doesn't help United. They need to be at high tempo.
And here is a change that shocked me. It's Hal Robson-Kanu coming on, a player I really like, I have to say. I think he's a very, very good, industrious centre forward. No, it's Hal Robson-Kanu. Sorry, it is Hal Robson-Kanu who's going to come. He's going to work hard. But he's not really a goal-scoring threat, is he? Has been out with a broken arm, and he's back in. And now it's Carlin Grant that's also going off. And he is being replaced. It looks as though, sorry, just got to look at my notes down there. Edison Cavani coming on for Juan Mata. That's somebody I can pick out for you. I think it's no, it's Callum Robinson that's on for Carlin Grant as well. So both sides changing their forward line, and Slaven Bilic realising that he may have to go with two up top for the rest of this half. Little turn on there by Callum Robinson, as Fred's got a thick ear straight away from Hal Robson-Kanu. Played back to Maguire to Matic, up to Martial, who's coming deeper. Cavani now will play as the pivot at the top of the park now, and Martial will come into the attacking three just in behind, where Juan Mata was once. And Martial's ball out to Fred is too strong and too long in front of him. A little bit of frustration there shown by both players as that ball didn't go into feet. Edison Cavani, renowned goal scorer all around the world. What do you think about the signing for Manchester United?
I think it's a good signing. Given that you got him, say, on a free as such, it's a good signing, but you need to play him. He's not one that you can't just keep bringing him off the bench. He's better than that, and he needs the opportunity. He needs a run of games.
Little tug of the arm there, and Matic is fouled by Pereira. And this is the fear for West Bromwich Albion fans now, isn't it? They've gone a goal down, and it's been a stuttering final third performance from Manchester United, but you can't quite see where the West Bromwich Albion threat's going to come from now, can you?
No,
you know there is a chance going to be afforded to them, but they're going to have to take it.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's about how quick they can get Robson-Kanu into the game. He's very clever in what he does when he drops off, and it's about what the two centre-halves do for Manchester United. Do they go with him, or do they stay off and hope that no one's going to run him behind? Because if they don't go with him, he will cause them problems. You have to go tight of him and not allow him to be able to turn and face.
Good run there down the line. Aaron Wan-Bissaka found by Marcus Rashford. Cuts inside Connor Townsend, goes back outside him, lifts the ball into the box off the thigh of Shemi Ajayi, comes out to Fred. Fred 24 yards from goal, drills a shot in, blocked by Conor Gallagher. The rebound goes up to Kanu, who holds off Lindelof, drags it back. He's made a lovely bit of space here for Conor Gallagher, who keeps his run going. He breaks in from where Aaron Wan-Bissaka should be, goes back to the edge of the box now to Robinson. Robinson with a shot into crossbar. What a superb effort there by the substitute, Callum Robinson. 20 yards out, curled it with the instep of his right foot onto the crossbar of David De Gea's goal, with him nowhere in sight, Paul.
No, that's caught him by surprise, and that's what Robson-Kanu can do, really.
Great run out. Cavani's got past the keeper Johnston, who's come a long way from goal. He's done well to hold him up though, Sam Johnston. And we've now got a flag. That is very late, I would say, Paul, as I wonder what to say about that flag.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the way it is now with the flags. They won't do it to the last minute. They've all got their different interpretations of the last minute, but I mean, that was Robson-Kanu. That was his clever thinking. He left two players in his wake, but he's gone back to Callum Robinson, who struggled a bit at Sheffield United, but he definitely has that in his locker. He just couldn't do it consistently, maybe because he didn't get a great run of games, but he has got pace and he's got an eye for a goal as well.
It has been quite something. I love the way you got out of that one. Cavani got the ball down, beat Johnston, got into the box, turned Johnston around, and then the flag appeared. I don't know how much later you can get. That's me saying that, because I'm just the man that says what I see. Paul Parker is a man that's played there, been there and done that. I reckon you'd have been spitting feathers if that flag hadn't gone up earlier in your playing days.
Yeah, I suppose I would have done, especially if I've been diving around trying to get the ball and got myself injured because of an assistant referee wouldn't put his flag up.
There we go. Ball from Johnston out to Gallagher. Gallagher looks for the overlapping run, and he finds Connor Townsend over the halfway line. Rashford gets back to cover the runoff. Infield it goes. Loose ball. Cavani does well to get a toe on it. Great bit of work by Matic. Toes it to Martial. Martial now 12 yards inside the West Brom half. Slight ball now to Fernandez inside the box. 16 yards out squared. Gets to Rashford. Can he finish it? Puts it across the face of goal. Johnston somehow turns it away. Past the far post when it looked easier for Rashford to put it in the back of the net. He stood there, waited for a second, and then Johnson just got a big paw on it again to put it past the post. That's a wasted chance. Will United rue that late on, Paul?
That's a poor miss. That is really, really poor. You're expecting him to drill that, or you expect him to hit the back of the net. I'm really sorry. It's a good save by Sam Johnson again. He has kept him in the game by doing that, because they still deserve to be in the game, West Brom. But he has to score that one. Say that sums up his game so far, I have to say.
Yeah, he's just not been at the races, has he? Fernandes with a corner for Manchester United, 67, short to the apex of the box to Fred. Back it goes to Fernandes. Fernandes cross the face of goal on the volley from Alex Telles. Is about all I can say as it goes high, wide, and not so very handsome into the stand away behind the goal. There we go. I tell you what, Manchester United, they're knocking at the door, but it's just finding that little break at the end. And West Bromwich Albion, we said they will be afforded a chance, we fancy, by Manchester United's defence in this second half. Still in this game, 68 on the clock. Manchester United 1, West Bromwich Albion 0. Twice taken penalty by Bruno Fernandes, putting United in front after Darnell Furlong was adjudged to have got his arm in the way of a Juan Mata dinked ball into the penalty area. And that was all after a shout for a penalty was overturned. David Coote gave the penalty for West Bromwich Albion, first minute of second half, after Conor Gallagher looked to have been upended in the box, but on second thoughts and having a little look at the VAR monitor, he overturned his own decision. But it's still Manchester United that lead, and this could be their first home win of this season. After ending last season's truncated season really well, they've been struggling with their home form. The fans would have been... they're normally very supportive of Manchester United, but they would have found the start to this season, had they been in the ground, Paul, very tough.
Yeah, they definitely would have found it tough, and they would have let the players know it as well. But I don't believe it would have been like this. It's not real at the moment. There's a lot of football going on, but this is the ghost league at this moment in time. Every side is struggling to perform on a consistent basis.
Shemi Ajayi just cutting out a ball from Telles, who lifted it over the head of his West Brom defender and got into the box. Ball goes back to Fred to Maguire back to Matic, 6 yards inside his own half, square to his right to Victor Lindelof, and now Lindelof gallops up to the halfway line. Short 10-yard ball into the feet of Rashford, back to Fred on the halfway line, square now to Harry Maguire, 6 yards inside the West Brom half again. Clips it out to that far touchline. He's given Telles a ball to get to, but he's got it. Goes back to Cavani. Cavani, who you'd want really on the penalty spot, not picking the ball up so deep, goes into Fred. Fred now clips it down on this near side, and it's the right back, Wan-Bissaka. Back to Fernandes. First time ball, tried to get it through the gap. Little toe in there by Conor Gallagher. Fred's done well to win it back. Ball breaks to Nemanja Matic, who clips it over the top. Martial back to goal, brings it down. Can he get the ball down in time? Gets it to Cavani, and Cavani plays it against the toe of Kyle Bartley's boot, and it's cleared by the captain for West Bromwich Albion. And Manchester United again working the ball into reasonable areas, but not getting that final ball or that killer instinct, Paul.
Yeah, when that ball went out to Martial, I thought he had that touch of his right. I just thought he was going to get on his left, and he was just going to have a swing of his left foot, which I think Sam Johnson wouldn't have been expecting, but he brings it down and tries to set up Cavani. I don't know why he didn't gamble on using his weaker side on that one. He could have done that, and I don't think anyone would have had a go at him, because he'd earned the right by his movement to be in that position.
Absolutely. We've got a shout in from Jonathan Morganti. The Gremio's Brazilian fans, including me, were confident of Cavani signing. Sadly, he didn't come, but at least he's now in the best league in the world. Congrats for the outstanding coverage. Fernandes with this corner for Manchester United. Cavani helps it on. Maguire at the back, off his midriff. Another save by Johnson, going away this time to his right. Double-handed save as Maguire from 8 yards on the angle drilled it into the turf, and it bounced up and put away. Manchester United having so many chances, but they're not putting the ball in the back of the net. All right, to centre half this time, Paul.
No, I mean he's done. I mean Maguire's he's got it down, but I mean he's hit it with no great pace at all. The pace was dying, and it's allowed Sam Johnson to get across. That'll go down as another good save. It's the Sam Johnson show at the moment in time. He's keeping West Brom in the game, as everyone would say.
Telles with a corner, headed away by Kyle Bartley, edge of the box to Fernandes, takes a touch, strikes a shot in, hits the body there of Connor Townsend, loops away for a throw to Manchester United. Gary GC got it in. I'm going to have to take time to go through your tweet there, because it's sort of along the lines of many, many theories, but I'll see what my producer says as to whether I can read that one out. But I understand what you're saying. Ball by Basaka back to Fred. Fred now to Lindelof. Lindelof midway inside the West Bromwich Albion half to Maguire. Maguire feeds it out to Alex Telles now. 6 yards shy of the edge of the 18-yard box into Martial. Martial faced up by Roman Sawyers. Plays it into the feet. Back to goal, Fernandes. Fernandes, lovely reverse ball. Cavani first time shot blocked by Carl Bartley again. What a lovely ball by Bruno Fernandes.
It was, but you have to turn around and you have to say what good defending that was for Bartley to see that. There wouldn't be many defenders would have seen that movement there, because that ball was so early into Cavani, and Carl Bartley has read it really, really well. Maybe he's kind of really on fire because he's up against Cavani, but he's definitely read that. He knew exactly where that was going.
Yeah, it really was an excellent reverse ball. A bit late there by Fred. I think he got there when he could. But West Bromwich Albion now, Sam Johnston finds himself outside his penalty area, takes a touch, drills it long. There's a real chance here. There's a run through here. De Gea right out of his goal, 12 yards outside his penalty area, clears that ball away. As Manchester United back line was pierced by a straight ball. Carnu was looking to run onto the ball. West Bromwich Albion still in this game. And
what's that?
Pereira,
how's that a foul?
He's just squealed because I think Matic...
He just touched his head because he was just putting his arms up to protect himself from running in the back, and he squealed, and the referee's giving him a foul for that.
Paul, you know so well and good the honesty of players when touched. I've got to be careful I pick my words with this one. You saw it with players in World Cup matches. You know, I think of Paul Gascoigne in that veritable semi-final when he just clipped the heels of the German player who took more rolls than I do, and Greg's. It was just the histrionics sometimes of players as soon as they're touched is ridiculous. Do you notice the way I danced around that?
No, you've done really well.
Thanks. Back to the game. Johnston, D of his own penalty area. A little short ball out to Branislav Ivanovic, who rolls it forward to Roman Sawyers. Sawyers still 6 yards shy of the halfway line. Plays it near side to Connor Townsend. Townsend back into his own half to Kyle Bartley. Bartley now back to Townsend. Poor ball, and in the end it's just a toe off by Townsend into the body of Basaka and away for a throw to West Bromwich Albion on the halfway line.
I have to say just earlier about that ball that come through, they nearly got in, and that was great goalkeeping by David De Gea. He read the situation. He doesn't come out. That would have been a massive embarrassment, almost to the fact of the goal they conceded in Europe.
Yeah.
As well, that a straight ball has beaten them like that.
And that is why Fred this time caught a little bit late, but Manchester United will break forward to Rashford. Rashford, little step over, can't get past Roman Sawyers, and no advantage there, but it had gone plenty of time before. Now it's a good break down this near side. Connor Townsend, whole ball out of play, surely wasn't out of play. Back it goes to Callum Robinson. Robinson faced by Wan-Bissaka into the feet of Gallagher. Gallagher back some 10 yards this time to Roman Sawyer. Square 12 yards inside the Manchester United half to Shemi Ajayi. Now to Mateus Pereira, whose crossfield ball is cut out by Fred. Fred, little layoff now to Fernandes. Fernandes up to the halfway line. Outside of him on his right is Rashford. He now plays it to Rashford, who from a standing start elects to go crossfield. Well, that's a great ball. If Martial can get there, he can. 6 yards away from the dead ball line, but wide of the West Bromwich Albion goal. Out to the edge of the box. Fred comes in. Little Cruyff turn. Rolls it. The set for Fernandes just too short, and allowed the block to come in from Connor Townsend from 19 yards. Paul, you're living every moment of this game, aren't you?
Yeah, it was just the pass was just too deliberate in the end. The moment he put that ball there for Fernandes, for me that had a blue light in it. That said, if Fernandes goes at that with any authority, he'll do well to stay on the pitch. It was a poor layoff from Fred. Should have took the responsibility on himself.
Yeah, you just knew there was not enough on it. As soon as it's like if you score a goal, you know the moment it leaves your boot, it's going goalwards, or off your head, it's going to go in. And that moment then, as soon as Fred laid it off, you knew it was underplayed. As a long ball goes through, Rashford breaks forward. He's into the penalty area, but wide of Johnston's goal at West Bromwich Albion's end. He turns a little flick, but in the end, good work by Kyle Bartley, who's done really well to put the ball out for a corner. And Kyle Bartley, they're saying, we've got to be careful. We can't just let one ball upset us as well. And Rashford almost through there, Paul.
He was almost through. You just wonder, though, if someone knocked a ball like that to Fernandes in that position, his touch would have been a lot better and had been virtually in on goal. And he gets there to Rashford, and his touch just takes him wider. Yeah. And it wasn't much. He couldn't do much else than what he'd done, and he'd done really well just to get a corner out of it in the end.
Gallagher has got a yellow card for that late lunge on Fred just moments ago. Corner, goal away to my right-hand side. Johnson looks out of his goal to his left. We are into the 77th minute. United lead by a goal to nil. Fernandes with the corner. Fernandes takes it out towards the edge of the box. In on the volley is Telles. He's met it sweetly. Not Paul Scholes-esque, more like Andrew Self-esque. It's gone high straight off the left boot, high above the stand away to my right-hand side. Ambitious, I would say, by the Brazilian fullback.
Yeah, he's just had one earlier, didn't he, when he was set up for one by Fernandes again, which is just at the top of the D, and he's done something similar as well. So it definitely isn't Paul Scholes with a bun now.
I didn't want to say anything about hair.
Nor do I really, but I had to mention it. I can't shy away from it.
No, it is a style to behold. Kanu upended by Fred in the middle of the park, tries to take it quickly. Sorry, it's Callum Robinson's mistake. Back it goes to the halfway line. West Bromwich Albion in possession of the football. Ivanovic out to Shemi Ajayi, 18 yards inside the Manchester United half. Down the line he goes. Cross will come in from Darnell Furlong. Loops up off the body of Telles, headed away by Harry Maguire. Throw to West Bromwich Albion, about 8 yards away from the corner flag, defended by the left back Alex Telles of Manchester United. Thrown into the box, cut out by Matic, hooked away by Telles, high in the sky. Ivanovic gets it down. Cavani tries to put him under pressure, but a little short pass into the centre circle on the Manchester United side to Bartley. Out on this near side to Connor Townsend, who really has given a greyhound from trap 6 at Romford no chance. In fact, it was Gallagher that couldn't get to the ball. Loose pass in here. You can hear everybody talking loads of time. There's not that much time left, whoever was saying that, because we're into the 78th, almost 78 elapsed, 12 regulation minutes to go. And here's a player that's a subject of many conversations being warmed up for Manchester United. 23-year-old Dutch player Donny van der Beek is going to get a run out. Lots of people upset that he hasn't had a start, Paul.
Yeah, there is. They just want to see him. I mean, he's played, I think, his last 2 or 3 internationals. He's scored 2 goals for his country, and you can see he's a good player. You get him in that top half of the pitch, final third. He's a very, very clever player. He is so astute. He's been coached by maybe the best producing club in the world, which is Ajax.
Bratislav Ivanovic has gone off. He's run his course, been out, obviously come back after self-isolating. He is being replaced by Krovinovic. Coming on. Headband and lower ponytail. Marcus Rashford is the man that's removed to be replaced by Donny van der Beek. And in fairness, Rashford's looked a little bit out of sorts than what we normally see for him.
Yeah, without a doubt, he just hasn't been there. For me, that's the right substitution. That gets you an extra body in there in midfield who's going to be be a lot better with the ball.
Yeah, it's Manchester United need to put the game to bed, whereas West Bromwich Albion know that there's still a chance of coming away with a point as Lindelof plays it into Van der Beek. His first time ball out. Wan-Bissaka is good down the line. Poor touch there by Aaron Wan-Bissaka, just off his toe and out of play when Donny van der Beek was looking to run in beyond. But there's lots of debates, isn't there, at Manchester United at the moment? You know, lots of people talking about Dean Henderson and David De Gea, who started the last 66 games. Well, I think 120 out of 121 games that he's had the chance to play for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So De Gea hasn't covered himself with glory, possibly in some people's eyes, over the last couple of years. But lots of little thoughts. Paul Pogba or such and such. You know, there seems to be lots of player duels that people pick the opposite of the one that's often playing, and they like to have a little bit of an emotive chat about.
Well, I just think Manchester United are always a topic of everybody's conversation. You don't have to be a United fan to want to talk about them. Good, bad, indifferent, negative or positive, people want to talk about Manchester United.
There we are, Paul Parker, the former Manchester United fullback and England fullback. 80th minute is halfway through. Manchester United 1 at West Bromwich Albion 0. You can tweet us here at TalkSport Live, myself at Selfie86 and at Real Paul Parker 2. Best tweet him, really, not me. I just full of very poor jokes. Matic wins the ball back on the far side to Telles. Telles down the line to Martial. Back to Telles. Telles finds a lovely ball through to Fernandes. Fernandes to Cavani. Cavani now down the side of the West Bromwich Albion penalty area. Tries to get a cross in, but it ends up going to the near post for Johnston to catapult out overarm because he caught it very quickly. Fred from the halfway line. Back to David De Gea. De Gea Feigns to go long, short pass to Maguire, short pass to Matic, back to Maguire. Manchester United haven't won a home Premier League football match so far this season. Looking to arrest that run. If West Bromwich Albion get an equaliser, it would be their worst start since 1972-73 at home. That's a long ball forward towards Martial, headed this time by Darnell Furlong, but it goes away for a throw to Manchester United midway inside the West Bromwich Albion half. 82 on the clock. Manchester United lead by a goal to nil. Scott McTominay coming in. And after our talk earlier, Paul, isn't this going to be a little bit of a fill-up and a boost for West Bromwich Albion to know that they're going to get somebody that's going to sit quite as deep?
Well, that's the bit that's worrying me now. Who they're going to take off is, for me, it can't be Fred. It doesn't make. That means they're going to go a little bit light for light, but they lose the energy levels that Fred has got in now. Whereas if somebody's going to go in there next to Fred, that means you're taking off an attacking player.
Yeah. Game passes not to feet there, and Manchester United give it away in a promising position. And West Bromwich Albion come away. Lovely bit of work there by Pereira. Scoops the ball out on this near side to Connor Townsend. West Bromwich Albion attacking a goal away to my left-hand side into Conor Gallagher, who displays a lovely ball out far side. Coming in off that far touchline is Kravinovic, who spins and turns, goes for the reverse ball, finds Darnell Furlong, who with a better touch could have got him beyond Antonio Martial, but it's gone out of play for a goal kick. West Bromwich Albion are still in there and having a little slug away at the side in red. They're still having little jabs to the rib. This is not over for Manchester United at all. It is Fred that's going off and Scott McTominay's coming on. What do you think, Paul?
Well, it's virtually light for light without the energy levels, really. That's the thing. He'll sit deeper than Fred, and Fred has been bouncing forward. Maybe they want someone who's just going to sit in there all the time because Fred is bouncing forward as well. That's because of the belief or the fact he knows he can get back, but maybe they just want him to sit deep in there with Matic and be a little bit more static.
Absolutely. I read an interesting point from I think it was Bruno Fernandes. I think it was in the week he came out and said actually the best passer in Manchester United's side is in the coaching staff still. Michael Carrick, he said he could still play. Ball goes back to Fernandes. Fernandes, lovely scoop out to Anthony Martial. He'll bring it down just inside the penalty area of West Bromwich Albion. He has to back out there to get it right under control. Takes on Shemi Ajayi, gets to the dead ball line, tries to crock it in, and it's blocked by Bartley and goes away for a corner to Manchester United. And that's quite some praise from Bruno Fernandes to say that the best passer of the game is Michael Carrick.
Yeah, that is.
He was a good player though, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Vastly underrated as well, I think.
Yeah, but he was. But he goes to United, and there were some big names when he went there as well.
True, absolutely true. Corner to Manchester United, goal away to my right hand side. Johnson looks out to his right. Fernandes leaves this to Telles, the left foot. I should say the left foot of Alex Telles, the Brazilian, to take this away from goal. Flicks off a couple of heads, and in the end it's Kravinovic that hooks the ball away from West Bromwich Albion. Lindelof waits for the bouncing ball and then cushions a nice left-footed volley back to David De Gea, some 35 yards beyond him. Back towards the Stretford end. De Gea plays it forward. Fernandes in towards Donny van der Beek, who has to evade a crunching challenge there from the Polish midfielder Kravinovic. Nice work by Matic, gets it back to Donny van der Beek, who plays it out to Martial, whose first touch is a little bit awry. He gets it back in play though, and Manchester United have a little bit of keep ball as Maguire 3 yards outside his own penalty area, away to my left hand side, goes crossfield to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. In towards the feet, and again it's given away. You heard the little cry from Paul Parker. It's not good enough, some of this passing, is it?
No, it's been sloppy. They've gone back to their old ways of the pass. The passes are almost dormant the way they're moving. It's that slow, the passing. It's just absolutely, and they're causing themselves problems because of it, and it's allowing West Brom to get back into the game. They need to really pep up the passing again.
Kravinovic comes forward and finds Conor Gallagher out to Callum Robinson, who comes off the touchline, faced by Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Back he goes to Conor Gallagher, infield to Roman Sawyer now into the feet of Robinson. First time layoff to Gallagher back inside to Robinson. First time layoff to Khan, who's trying to spin Lindelof. He's got away from him. In the end, Bissaka's bundles into the floor. I think Hal Robson-Kano thought he should have had a free kick there.
Only he thought that, by the way, because he threw himself to the floor.
He was on his way down before Bissaka had got anywhere near him, in fairness. Ball has somehow managed to get through to Cavani. First time ball to Fernandes, back to Cavani. Cavani has got Donny van der Beek to his right. Takes a long time to get to Donny van der Beek, but indeed it gets there. It's back to Bruno Fernandes, who's got time to run towards the edge of the box. Now to Cavani, 19 yards out. And Edison Cavani tries a reverse ball to a vacant area where there was no red shirt, Paul.
Well, I think he was looking for Martial. Martial just stood there and virtually wanted it in an area where Cavani was. So I don't know why Martial doesn't make an angle run for a straight pass. Just in behind that player who's standing in front of Cavani. That was what he was looking at. And Martial kind of looks at him, and I don't know what Cavani's thinking about that, but for me that was the one angle run straight pass. That's all it was. Well, once you make a position and he doesn't get to you, you have to make another position as a forward player.
Well, as the wide man, if your defender's looking in at the ball, you're on the blind side. You've got every chance. You know, it's very difficult for defenders to pick that run up. It's such a simple pass.
Yeah, the attackers who I played against, it didn't have to be big names, but the ones who made a run, and then as you get yourself right, that's it, I've dealt with that run, I've blocked it off, I've seen it, they go and make another run, then you have to then go and do it again, and that's where you can switch off as a defender. And that's what Cavani's virtually saying. He's made a run, now make another run, because the defender doesn't know where you are.
Absolutely right. 88th minute, almost elapsed. Manchester United 1, West Bromwich Albion 0. Maguire goes along with his free kick. Martial the target, headed away by Darnell Furlong. Fernandes heads it back towards the touchline. Alex Telles tries to get it back to Matic, but it's cut out by Krovinovic, who lays a long ball up, and this time it is Kanu putting Lindelof under pressure, and he's managed just to smash it clear on this near side. A little bit of agricultural defending there by the Swede, but nevertheless effective. Slaven Bilic there claps Connor Townsend, who gets the ball quickly and throws it back to Carl Bartley. Bartley square, 12 yards inside his own half, out on the far side to Shemi Ajayi. Up to Darnell Furlong, back into his own half to Shemi Ajayi. We know goes square to Kyle Bartley. West Bromwich Albion almost keeping the ball like they're the side that are currently a goal up. In the end, they've given it away, but it's not profited upon by Donny van den Beek, and his slide goes all the way back some 40 yards to Sam Johnson in the West Brom goal. Bowled out there to Ajayi to Krovinovic, now out to Darnell Furlong, cross ball in, headed away by Maguire, and it's picked up by Martial. Chance here for Manchester United to break here. Martial on the charge, he's got Cavani with him. In the end, it's Shemi Ajayi that dangles a foot in, and I think that's everything Anthony Martial wanted at that moment in time.
Yeah, he'd got himself into a little bit of a cul-de-sac, so he's just waiting for it, and he stuck out the leg there, Ajayi, and I don't know if he made contact the ball or not, but he's given away a sloppy free kick, really.
Down inside his own half is Nemanja Matic. Richard Eskins, please don't come in on the Twitter with that one. We've stopped the chit chat, we're doing the commentary now, we're telling you all about the game. God, these people on Twitter, they love us, don't they? Anyway, it's 1-0 to Manchester United. We're into the final minute of the game. We just love having you along, and that goes for everybody that's joined in on the Twitter sphere today. Scott McTominay has his free kick. He leaves it to Bruno Fernandes. He's about 2 yards away from the lip of the centre circle on the West Bromwich Albion side. Matic on his feet, gets it to Telles to Martial. Martial comes in field, goes back to Scott McTominay, square to Matic, back to Maguire. Manchester United now clip the ball down the far side. Alex Telles into the feet of Martial. He's gone for the return ball, but Martial's first touch was a little on the heavy side, and in the end he has got the throw, the verdict from the assistant and the referee. West Bromwich Albion not happy with that because the ball has gone out of play. Paul, your thoughts? It was so difficult to see from where we were, in fairness, wasn't it?
It was very, very difficult.
It's going to be 4 additional minutes, a minimum of at the end of this game. And Manchester United lead by a goal to nil. Martial turns, runs towards the penalty area, starts past 2. Gets down 6 yards away from the dead ball line, goes back to Telles, first time ball swung in. Connor Townsend heads it away. It's going to be picked up by Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Short pass to Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes back to Scott McTominay. McTominay wants to go forward, but he's being held up by 2. Almost got himself in trouble, but he's managed to smuggle a pass through the legs of Gallagher to Fernandes. And Fernandes comes off this right touchline into the feet there of Cavani. Strong challenge by Ajayi, and now Gallagher gets caught late by Edison Cavani.
That's...
There we are. Jonathan Morganti, sorry. Both Telles and Fred were forged here in the city of Porto Alegre. Telles at Gremio and Fred at Internacional. Thank you for that, young man. Good to have you. Ball goes forward for West Bromwich Albion. Robinson's lost out to Bissaka, who's in a different position, to say the least. Manchester United, though, have managed to get the ball back after giving it away. Now Aaron Wan-Bissaka's got a lot of space to run into. Up to the West Bromwich Albion penalty area. Rolls it back to Cavani. Little step over. Martial, chance to finish. Lovely drag back, but terrific defensive work by Darnell Furlong. Just got enough on the shot from Martial after it looked as though he'd made himself a good yard and a half of space. Terrific defensive work by Darnell Furlong there. Good break by Manchester United, but again, what you can say is there's another chance gone begging.
It certainly has, and I thought Martial had done the hard work, but in fact it was Darnell Furlong. I just forgot my words there.
It's the final furlong.
It's the final furlong, yeah. He's done really, really well just to stay in there, because he could have been lost on the first one that got flicked in behind him, and he didn't.
Corner to Manchester United. Johnson looks away to his right hand side. Fernandes and Martial going for the short corner. We're in time added on at the end of the second half here. Martial now trying to hold the ball in the corner, and good work by Sawyers, gets it to Mateus Pereira. West Bromwich Albion will take a lot of heart out of this to their next games, won't they? I know it's another defeat if it stays at 1-0, but they have 2 home games against Sheffield United and Crystal Palace, and the sort of same industry and work rate is going to put them in a good place, surely, Paul.
Yeah, in certain ways it does. I mean, the big thing for them that's happened so far is that defeat away to Fulham. That's the one where they would have looked at, and they really, after that second half performance at Brighton, the next game away to Fulham, they really mostly believed that that's where they was going to get their 3 points. Didn't materialise. Sheffield United at home, they're expected to get something. Their fans would expect them to get something, at least 4 points in the next 2 games. If that doesn't happen, then there's going to be a little bit of concern, maybe up in the higher tier of the offices of West Bromwich Albion, asking questions about maybe have we got to change things up.
Gallagher through to the feet of Robinson, who tries a flick, but it doesn't quite work. Manchester United pick off the ball. Maguire comes forward and shovels the ball out of play on the far side. I could see what he was trying to do. He was trying to curl it down the channel for Cavani to run onto, but he didn't get much of a golf club out there. I think he really did just get a shovel out there and popped it out there. West Bromwich Albion now come forward with the ball. Kravinovic square to Kyle Bartley, halfway line. Out on this near side now to Connor Townsend, blocked off by Fernandes, goes back to Kyle Bartley, 12 yards inside his own half. Square to Roman Sawyers, forward to Mateus Pereira. Pereira going square on the halfway line, skips past Donny van den Beek, and now plays it back to Kyle Bartley. He's going to look at that man at the top of our pitch here. West Bromwich Albion, Darnell Furlong hugging that touchline on the far side. The wing back will roll it back to Shemi Ajayi now. Ajayi, short ball into Roman Sawyers. Sawyers back out to Darnell Furlong. West Bromwich Albion infield now to Kravinovic. Square now to Mateus Pereira. Mateus Pereira out on this near side, and it's Connor Townsend that stops it, level the 18-yard box of Manchester United, a yard in from this left touchline. Fernandes trying to block his way forward, but the ricochet favours, but the man with a whistle says that's enough. Your thoughts on a 1-0 win for Manchester United, Paul?
Well, you'll take anything to get your first win at home, but if you're Manchester United, people are not going to be happy with that. That was a poor second half. That was seriously poor. They got, as the game went on, they got worse and worse. Started off brightly, second half performance just wasn't up to it really, and West Brom should feel really disappointed that they haven't come away with at least a point.
Well, if you've missed it and you've just joined us, Manchester United have won by a goal to nil. Here's your match highlights. Manchester United come the other way now to Rashford. Rashford level the 18-yard box of the penalty area into the feet of Fernandes. First time left of Marshall. What a save that is by Johnston. Maybe hit it too well, maybe telegraphed it too much, Paul.
Oh, for me, you got to call that a good save, to be perfectly honest. He's just tried to pick a spot, and again, Sam Johnson has got down so well. I mean, people say it's close to him, but people say sometimes that's difficult for goalkeepers to deal with when it's close to him.
Can he get the ball back to Diangana? No, it's back to Gallagher. Gallagher goes over, it's a penalty, and he's brought down. And Manchester United concede here in the first minute of the second half, a penalty. Bruno Fernandes is protesting the innocence. We've heard everybody from St George's Park back. It isn't a penalty, and it's quite correct, Paul. After into the box here, tries to clip it in. This time it's caught in the body of Darnell Furlong, who's adjudged to have used his arm in an unnatural position. Anyway, it's Bruno Fernandes against Sam Johnston. Goal away to my right here at Old Trafford. 0-0 the score currently. 54th minute. Fernandes up. Little hop, goes in. Great save by Johnston, who's a mile off his line, it has to be said. He's a long way off his line. Here comes Fernandes again. Another hop, goes the opposite side, and this time Johnston guesses right. 56th minute, it goes the opposite side, but high and over the arm of Johnston. It's 1-0 Manchester United. Gallagher, who keeps his run going, he breaks in from where Aaron Wan-Bissaka should be, goes back to the edge of the box now to Robinson. Robinson with a shot into crossbar. What a superb effort there by the substitute Callum Robinson. 20 yards out, curled it with the instep of his right foot onto the crossbar of David De Gea's goal, with him nowhere inside, Paul.
No, that's caught him by surprise.
Paul, when it comes down to it, it wasn't the greatest performance by Manchester United, but they got over the line.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to come out and talk about that situation they're in and about no home win, but still you expect a performance, and that wasn't a performance. It had the opportunity to be one the way they started, but they deteriorated as the game went on. You can just tell by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's face, he just knows himself that just wasn't good enough. And you know, there's still going to be questions asked about Manchester United. Everyone's going to talk about him and his position, because as the manager at Manchester United said before, if you're a Manchester United, you're there to entertain, and that wasn't entertainment at all.
Thank you very much. The words there of Paul Parker. Big thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, there's been 4 games. Newcastle, Chelsea, 2-0 to Chelsea. Villa 1, Brighton 2, Tottenham 2, Manchester City 0. Tomorrow, another 4-timer for you here at Premier League Live. Fulham, Everton, Sheffield United, West Ham United, Leeds United are taking on Arsenal, and Liverpool are taking on Leicester City. Thank you for all your interaction on the Twitter sphere. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope it's going to be a marvellous night for you. And I tell you what, Manchester United have got over the line. Plenty of heart left there, though, for West Bromwich Albion. They've got Sheffield United coming up at home and Crystal Palace, so they could well go into that knowing that they've done well at former champions Manchester United tonight. But in the end, a twice taken penalty by Bruno Fernandes has seen Manchester United get all 3 points. 4-timer today, 4-timer tomorrow. It has been a pleasure being alongside the former Manchester United and England fullback Paul Parker, and a big pleasure to serve you out there listening. Tonight you've been listening to Premier League Live.
What will you really gain from using anabolic steroids? Using illegal anabolic steroids can lead to nasty and serious side effects, both physical and psychological. Heart failure, infertility, hair loss, acne, mood swings, increased aggression. Don't lose out to steroid gains. Know the risks. Visit zerogains.ie. A message from the Health Products Regulatory Authority.
Amazon's Black Friday week is here, so you can either shop last-minute presents and be a Christmas nobody, or shop now and become a Christmas hero.
Wow, best present ever.
Amazon's Black Friday week, 20th to 30th November. Shop now, relax later.
There's certain matchday sounds we are all missing. But there are others we don't have to. Is Carlsberg Pilsner the best beer to enjoy while watching the match at home? Probably. Carlsberg Pilsner, probably the best beer in the world. Enjoy Carlsberg sensibly. Visit drinkaware.ie.
This is not the time for business as usual. It's time for effort and imagination. It's time to use technology to start your online plans. It's time to work from home to stay in touch. It's time to look to each other. Scoil Céile. Ireland is working online with help from Black Knight and .ie, because now we need better than business as usual. Call Black Knight on 059 918 3027 or visit blackknight.ie.
Create the Premier League atmosphere at home with Harvey Norman, the home of the big screen. Feel like you're on the pitch with our stunning range of 4K smart LED and OLED TVs from LG, starting from just $449. Plus, hear every kick, save, tackle, decision with LG's best-in-class soundbars. Get TV ready for all the big games with Harvey Norman. Shop online today or safely in our spacious stores. Harvey Norman, home of the big screen.
As Ireland's homegrown insurer, FPD knows it's empowering when someone has your back. So switch your van insurance to us and get up to 75% no-claim discount. Visit fbd.ie to request a quote. FBD Insurance. Support. It's what we do. Terms, conditions and underwriting criteria apply. 75% no claims discount is based on proof of 5 years no claims discount and available to new commercial motor customers only. FBD Insurance Group Limited, trading as FBD Insurance, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland. Commercial motor insurance is underwritten by FBD Insurance plc.
123inc.ie have your office needs covered. So whether you're an accountant, butcher, carpenter, dentist, electrician, florist, graphic designer, hairdresser, journalist, lecturer, musician, optician, retailer, teacher, solicitor, web designer, or yoga instructor, we've got what you need. And we're cheaper than your current supplier. 123inc.ie. For home, for office, for less.